always finding ways to experiment with things, especially fire.
He tried to create words using lamp oil, but he did it indoors. So he was always in trouble for playing with fire. He was fascinated with it.
By the time he went to college, Schuster's interest for invention was going strong. While studying electrical engineering, he also began to develop an interest in art.
So I went over to an action sketch class on Monday evening. First thing you know, I found myself playing every available moment, and that's where I got started.
But then, the world changed. German submarines sank several U.S. merchant ships, forcing the U.S. into the First World War. The country mobilized, but with a military force of only 100,000, there was a great need for soldiers. By May 1917, Congress passed the Selective Service Act, requiring all men 21 to 30 to register for the draft. Many of their numbers were pulled, and they were shipped off to war. Fearing he would be selected, 23-year-old Schuster applied for officer school and was accepted. After months of training, he was sent to France. Serving as a first lieutenant, Schuster saw action at Meuse-Argonne, which would become the deadliest campaign in American history. The battle was grueling. More than 26,000 dead, more than 120,000 injured, and many by mustard gas deployed by the German army. One of those hurt, Will Schuster. 2/3 of his lungs were damaged, and he was sent back to Philadelphia in May 1919.
After having all sorts of tests made to him, I realized that the situation wasn't good.
His doctor told him he had tuberculosis and about a year to live.
He said, but if I were you, I would pack up and get out to the southwest, to some high, dry place, as soon as possible.
The late 19th century, the belief was that TB could be cured with the treatment of fresh air, thin air, and that certainly was true of New Mexico.
Because they do probably die of old age, snake bite, or drinking too damn much bad whiskey.
Within weeks, Schuster hopped on a train and headed to New Mexico.
I arrived March 3rd, 1990. I came out here to tell the
His story was that he came to Sunmount, and he really didn't think he had a future.
Sunmount was one of the state's first sanatoriums located in the foothills of Santa Fe. It was one of 55 tuberculosis or TB treatment centers in New Mexico. During this time, TB was a leading cause of death in the U.S. Thousands were coming to the Southwest hoping for a cure.
The doctors like them to come in early stages of TB, and when they did that, there was a much better chance of them surviving. If they came out and there were advanced cases, there's very little they could do.
Rest was required.
Stay in bed 12 hours a day.
Pictures show patients in bed, some even outside playing games or relaxing in the sun and fresh air. But Schuster was stubborn. Instead of resting, he hiked these foothills.
He was going to kill himself. Hiking. Instead, it made him stronger, and he recovered.
There was an idea during the time that you shouldn't leave the place where you're healed, or you would get sick again. So a lot of these creative individuals found themselves stuck in Santa Fe, and over time they began to develop the arts community that we found here. So we really have them to thank for creating the bedrock of what we know as Santa Fe's art culture today.
In the early 20s, New Mexico was still very young, only becoming a state 8 years earlier. And Santa Fe was the Wild West, still very much unsettled.
And it was this vibrant mix of humanity, really.
Many migrants to the area were free-spirited artists looking for inspiration and new ways to express themselves. Shortly after his arrival, Schuster met a well-known artist.
John Sloan is kind of a Renaissance man. He is a painter, and a writer, and a sculptor, and an inventor.
Sloan was dedicated to making artwork that was about the everyday life of the people around him. He served as a mentor for Schuster, and he was really responsible for the way that Schuster looked at the world and interpreted it through his own art.
Giving him a long, fast, very close friendship.
Schuster got to work, developing his art through prints and painting, his free spirit and charisma leading him to others.
It was almost impossible not to link up with these people. So typically for a creative, energetic, and lively person like Schuster, he was naturally drawn to these other bohemians.
We thought this thing over and got the idea of getting these 5 young makers who were kind of pushed off in the corn business.
Schuster, along with Fremont Ellis, Walter Bruck, Joseph Falcos, and Willard Nash, all had different inspiration for their work, but they shared the same goal.
They believed deeply that art should speak to, in their own words, the peasant worker in the same way that it spoke to any connoisseur, curator, or museum director.
We banded together for exhibition purposes. You might say self-protection from the elements.
Establishing Santa Fe's first art collective, Los Cinco Pintores.
And part of this was simply that they were 5 painters. And the other part was that they wanted to honor the Hispanic identity that was already here in New Mexico and show that they appreciated what their adopted culture has brought to them.
The colony set up shop southeast of the plaza on Camino Montesol, each building an adobe home. People called them the 5 nuts in a hut. They were all broke.
I remember we used to pay our models 25 cents a memory. And I'd work like the devil to get that thing down to size. But he's not splendid. As a matter of fact, so the same as good as anything I ever did in my life.
Sometimes they would go years without selling a painting. Schuster wrote in his diary, working together was about survival.
Once sold a painting, they all shared in the profits.
And that happened just before Christmas, 1923. A big sale led Schuster to a big celebration.
And he goes to his compatriots and says, we're always skimping and saving. It's Christmas Eve. Let's see what the new year brings. La Fama's just opened up. Let's go have a proper, Christmas Eve dinner.
And Schuster noticed that even though it was a joyous occasion, everyone seemed kind of down. And he really didn't like that. He wanted this to be a celebration.
So he takes out this sketch.
Hi, Julius.
That's a long way together. And he demands that they write down the father. And so they follow and they do it in the center of the table, and he grabs the candle that's there, and he lights it on fire and declares it there. So what's bothering them is done, right? Well, of course, the bartender comes back and kicks them all out. Now they're on the plaza, and they just start laughing. The snow's coming down, it's beautiful, and it's just kind of the absurdity of what happened. And he really thinks about this idea that writing down what is bothering you and then burning it away is really something that you could do.
It was because of this desire among the group to banish gloom and to embrace joy that the seeds of the ZOZO were planted.
A few months later, Schuster took a trip to Mexico, where he attended a Good Friday celebration hosted by the Yaqui people.
They created an effigy of Judas and loaded it with firecrackers and on a donkey, then lit it on fire to get rid of that gloomy character.
And so he comes back and he decides that he can marry these two ideas together. You can get rid of your gloom by burning it. And second is that you can do it in something that the community all decides is something that they don't like.
He didn't want the idea of community catharsis to be political or religious. But when and where would it take place?
And so he goes to the Fiesta Council and says, I have this great idea. I'm going to burn this effigy so that way you guys can have a happy fiesta. And the Fiesta Council looks at him, and he was shown the door pretty quickly.
So, how did Schuster get his massive marionette into the community spotlight and develop the myths surrounding the beast? We'll show you when we return.
ZOZO Bra's Legacy of Fire is sponsored by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union.
Oh my god, it's a milk ad.
We're proud to work with trusted partners like Greenland, who pour their passion.
Ignore the car collection and
Working side by side,
the table. The table though.
is at the heart of what we do, because we share a story of local pride and deep roots in the communities we serve. Albertsons Market, where freshness and value meet right here at home.
Celebrate the 101st birthday of ZOZO BRA. That's the ZOZO BRA. A fun never goes out. New Mexico residents get it free the first Sunday of the month. Go to nmhistorymuseum.org and join us for the tradition of Old Man Blue in the wild world of checking the
Another ad. I think. Yeah, it's another ad.
No, we've seen that one. Ah, yes.
Ads are annoying.
Peak plus cashback checking. A true beauty.
on for just a second. I'm gonna get Nona.
This is my favorite. What do you think of this?
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Don't relocate, renovate. Avoid rising interest rates by changing your bathroom, not your home. Call us or visit rebath.com and save 10% of your complete bathroom remodel. Exceptional roof surfaces, look no further than O'Terra Brothers Roofing. Regenerate the roofing expertise we're the specialists you can rely on. From shingles to TPO, our team excels in all roof systems. Call us now for a complimentary estimate. O'Terra Brothers Roofing, your trusted roofing professionals.
3 days of fun and fiesta, which always come on Labor Day weekend, are ushered in by the burning of ZOZO BRA, or Old Man Groom,
Nona
on the
kissed
hill
me.
overlooking the city.
For decades, the burning of ZOZO BRA has kicked off the Santa Fe Fiestas, an event filled with food, music, and dancing. But Fiestas wasn't always so welcoming to such a pagan-looking ritual. With a history dating back more than 300 years, they were looking to preserve their own traditions. The Spanish arrived in Mexico in the 1500s. Upon hearing of cities of gold, they made their way north into what is now New Mexico. Juan de Onate established a capital and called it Santa Fe, the city of the Holy Faith. For years, the Spanish pushed their religious views onto Native Americans who had been there for thousands of years. They also took many of their resources. By 1680, the Pueblo people had enough. They rose up, pushing the Spanish out of the area. 12 years later, Spanish conquistador Don Diego de Vargas returned and reconquered the region.
The earliest document we have that mentions the Santa Fe Fiestas is from 1712.
In this document, Juan Pius Hurtado, a member of Diego de Vargas's inner circle, mandates an event to remember and commemorate the events of the Reconquest.
It was very Catholic and very religious. In the document, he describes what he wants to happen, which would be Vespers Mass, which is evening Mass, a sermon, and then a procession through the plaza, the center of Santa Fe.
Ending with a feast.
And even though in the document it says that this will happen every year, we're not sure it even happened every year, or if it did for a few years and then stopped happening.
Can you guys
We're
hear
just not
it?
sure.
By
Okay, or do I need a
Fiesta revival.
But it really gets
put the volume more up?
into high gear in the teens or the 1920s. This idea that was sweeping the country of frontier days, celebrating our pioneer ancestors. Well, in New Mexico, it gets recreated as celebrating the conquistadors and Diego de Vargas and his soldiers.
The pageant, La Entrada, portrayed a bloodless conquest.
There's some truth to that. In 1692, he had a peaceful encounter with the Pueblos, but by 1693, there's friction and it becomes a bloody reconquest.
This celebration was eliminated from fiestas in 2018, a change brought on by protests. A different kind of protest brought change in 1924.
A lot of folks begin to see this as a little bit stale.
Hey, someone stole my
So
food.
here are these dudes who have decided to set something on fire as a counter narrative, really, to Fiesta. So Fiesta is boring, and here's something where we can invent a new tradition.
Annoyed and angry after the Fiesta Council denied his request to burn his monster, Will Schuster
Can you
decided
guys,
to do it in his backyard.
And just say,
Hear it okay, or do I need to put the
let's do
volume a
something
little up?
and different, or at least put it up side to side and see what happens. Or at least pour some kerosene on his puppet and see what happens.
The puppet stood about 6 feet tall. His name, Old Man Groucho.
Okay.
Dozens of artists and writers watched that first burning, and it was popular.
So they did it again in 25. 1925 is kind of a funny story because he had Gus Ballman, who had moved here from New York and was this puppeteer, right? And they had miscommunicated. And so the 1925 ZOZO BRA, Schuster built a 4-foot body, and Gus Ballman built a marionette head. It was this, so it looked kind of like a pinhead. But they burnt it, and they had a lot of fun.
So many people came to watch, and the burning was hard to see. They knew they needed to go public. Schuster, still wanting to push away from the religious themes of Fiesta, organized his own event. Schuster knew in order to be successful,
That's an
his
ugly
most
version of.
needed a strong
That's an ugly version of ZOZO Bra.
That scared me.
That scared my mom.
So help me with this.
Johnson opened up his old Spanish dictionary.
They looked up gloom, and they see this word ZOZO BRA, which means to shipwreck or to be gloom. There's nothing with Z's, and it sounds Spanish, and it's cool, and nobody's ever heard of this any time before. You know, as soon as Dana Johnson read it out of the dictionary, it was just like a light bulb went off, and that was like, that's our monster's name.
On September 3rd, 1926, they held the first public burning of ZOZO BRA behind what was City Hall at the time.
We stuffed it with Excelsior, which we had soaked in copper sulfate.
Ugly ass version of ZOZO Bra. The old version is scary and ugly.
I had the Kiwanians who took apart balloons in a procession around the figure, carrying green torches, and then we had a bunch of artists who were the merrymakers who came on with colored whips and whipped the balloons away so you ignited the figure, and all of our work with the copper sulfate just went up one kind of poof, and that was the end of it.
The following day, they held a hysterical pageant sharing the history of Santa Fe through comedy and satire.
They brought in new parades, new performances, lots of costumes, lots of fun, the same way they did to everything else.
They even dressed their pets up and paraded them around the plaza. This festival was called Pasatiempo, meaning a way to pass the time. It was popular, and by 1929, the Santa Fe Fiesta Council incorporated these new events and invited ZOZO BRA to kick off the celebration. The first few years, the burning of ZOZO BRA was quick.
Kind of anticlimactic.
How Schuster created the characters and pageantry leading up to the burn to make this event the giant spectacle it is today.
I know that Market Street store.
First burning of ZOZO BRA at ZOZO BRA, a fire that never goes out. New Mexico residents get it free the first Sunday of the month. Go to nmhistorymuseum.org and join us for the tradition of Old Man Blue.
I've been doing
My mom's eating a salad and our dog is just staring at her. Hold on, I'm gonna get her again.
I'm your brain helping you ease into the morning and prepare for the day. KOEG 7 weather coverage you can count on.
An ad again. In the meantime, look who's here. Oh, she's heavy.
You'll find healthier on every corner and tasty on every shelf.
That's annoying.
Plus, Sprouts Rewards is here, and you can join today. Earn points, explore perks, and enjoy savings.
I don't know.
This is that Sprouts feeling. Summer's almost over.
But there's lots of end-of-summer fun at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Come on! Yes!
Ignore my car and half train collection.
Right now, get 1.99% APR financing for 72 months on Tundra, or get $3,000 cash back on Tundra.
Come in today.
Great job, Ray!
Toyota, let's go places.
Celebrate the 101st burning of ZOZO BRA at ZOZO BRA, a fire that never goes out. New Mexico residents get it free the first Sunday of the month. Go to
To be honest, I have no idea.
and join us for the tradition of Old Man Blue.
I like it when they dress it into Michael Jackson.
ZOZO BRA's popularity was growing fast after only 6 years of burning. But the celebration was quick and lasted.
I like any types of toys too.
Will Schuster took this to heart at a time when our country was undergoing a period of growth.
Some of these cars are from like
October 29th, 1929. Panic and chaos as investors offload their
some of these
stocks,
cars are like
decreasing
old.
value and leading to a crash. People flooded banks,
Yeah.
demanding their money in cash.
Like this red
And
one.
by 1933, almost half
This
of all
one.
banks in the U.S. failed. The economy hit rock bottom.
This so Want to know something cool about these old-fashioned cars? The old-fashioned buggies. Well, Beetles.
Including Will Schuster. He couldn't pay the bills, writing to his friend John Sloan.
So,
Yesterday, I had
you know
some
this
light
part.
to turn the electricity
Nowadays,
off
it's the trunk,
that I
right?
used
I mean, not the trunk. The engine. This part.
President Franklin Roosevelt started
And
the
this
New Deal
and
to
this
get
part.
America back to work.
The trunk. Well, back then it was opposite. This was the trunk, and this was the engine.
Schuster got involved with several of these programs, painting murals at Carlsbad Caverns in 1933. And the next year, he was commissioned to produce a series of frescoes at the New Mexico Museum of Art, all of which depict scenes of Native American culture.
I think it was stimulating. I think it stimulated people's interest in art.
Schuster also made a living working on other public works projects like the construction of Fort Marcy Park. He
Look
saw
how
this
huge
as an
this car
opportunity
is
and took it.
that we have.
Plans for Marcy, there's an arroyo that runs through it, and so there was a lot of stonework that had to be done in order to brace the arroyo to make sure that you could actually do this and create.
It's huge. It's very long.
There's these stairs on a hill overlooking the park that are done out of the same stones that had been used, to
Ew,
hold
ants.
the arroyo walls.
I hate ants.
And there's no plans
They're
for it
ugly.
anywhere. And what it was that Schuster decided that ZOZO needed to be there, that the hill would be a great thing. Instead of being just looking at him like this, now you have to look up at him. And then what better way to do this than to have stairs? And so literally he designed those stairs, had them put in place, got paid by the government to do this, and he found a home for ZOZO BRA. And so in 1933, ZOZO BRA moved to Fort Marcy, and every ZOZO BRA has been birthed there since.
ZOZO BRA finally had
Dang.
his throne. Despite tough times, Schuster continued
Also,
to
guess
construct his beats.
how tall ZOZO BRA is.
It was full of glue that was related to the Depression.
He knew ZOZO BRA would provide the relief people needed in this dark time.
With the help of the Santa Fe New Mexican and numerous friends, he creates this outlandish story of a monster rampaging
He's
the countryside,
50.
eventually captured and
He's-
dragged back into Santa Fe, where he can be burned as he properly should be.
50.
Much of their
Wait.
inspiration came from popular monster movies like Frankenstein and
He's
King Kong.
50
So
feet.
it was a way of distracting people from economic calamity.
He's very tall.
And giving them an opportunity to laugh at something.
Well, I mean, his voice actor is a man anyway.
But Schuster believed something was still missing.
Oh, we can't just burn it. We have to have this ceremony around it. And so they really get into this idea of what can we think about and how does ZOZO BRA come about? Has he materialized? What role does the fire spirit play? What are the central pieces of this and how do they all fit together?
Schuster and the paper's editor, Dana Johnson, continued to develop their myth that would evolve into the pageantry we see today.
You have to get ZOZO BRA out of hiding because he's in the summer to Cristo Mountains and he's stealing sheep and he's doing this stuff.
Now that's creepy. Imagine that in your window.
His honor during fiestas. ZOZO BRA accepts.
He's in the middle of downtown Santa Fe and can wreak havoc. And the town is thinking.
They even made a song for him on YouTube.
But this is an opportunity to get him out of hiding. So ZOZO BRA shows up in his little bow tie because he's the guest of honor, and he plays along with this whole charade.
Using his powers, ZOZO BRA thrusts the city into darkness.
He takes Santa Fe's kids away from them, devoids them of any kind of hope.
My
and
mom's
they turn into
scared.
little minions.
The town rises up with pitchforks and torches, but ZOZO BRA is able to scare them off.
And so they have this big problem. You let him out of the box, but now you don't have him back in the box.
Schuster and Johnson.
He's very
came up with an
ugly.
idea.
Just as we created ZOZO BRA with our misdeeds and the glue, there's other parts of us as human beings when we're selfless, when we're good to one another, when we do things for each other. And that also creates an energy.
Hold on for just a second. I'm gonna get a snack.
But because
First, I'm gonna
the
wash my
energy
hands.
quickly, she is only 5 feet tall, while ZOZO BRA, who's had a year to consume negativity, is a towering 50 feet.
And they love this dichotomy because now what you're doing is you're bringing in David versus Goliath. And you're having this battle between the two.
Through goodness and positive energy, the fire spirit prevails, defeating ZOZO
Now Schuster needed to figure out how to turn this new myth into a show that would dazzle and entertain those in Santa Fe. But it came with challenges.
Jacques is pretty much like, get out.
What it took to convince a famous ballet dancer to develop the pageantry we see today. And these mysterious artifacts tell a gloomy tale that would help make this tradition even stronger.
It's sponsored by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union, Albertsons Market, and the Mexico Department of Cultural Affairs. A car that doesn't truly transport people is a car that stops. Amazing. Lexus more opportunity sales. Get offers on select models.
Get special offers on select Lexus NX models. In the wild world of checking hotels, only the keenest stars all find the best.
Is that the one?
No, which next one? Ah, yes. Here you said 5.25% teak plus high yield chain. That's room beauty. Plus high yield chain in the Sandia area. Great goals for everyday adventures.
Here's to the early mornings, where I woke up before the sunrise, instead of falling asleep after it.
Here's to the fun-filled day with the family. From breakfast to bed.
Here's to the day in the job where I feel lifted up, clean, and there's to better life, with better sleep,
Higher clarity.
and more stress. All because I decided to break legs.
Learn how to do some checking and help you impact on your life. And live more in.org.
A lot of injury lawyers love to claim they'll treat you like family. But what are they not telling you? Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team.
That wrecked vehicle that they should and could help you with, under their fee agreement, when you work with them, you're on your own. Those overwhelming medical bills, even if they don't get paid, these lawyers want to take their fee anyway.
At the husband and wife law team, we take care of all of that for you because your best outcome is what's most important to us. Do your research. The injury lawyer you hire does matter.
A car that doesn't make everyone feel like a priority is a car that's not showing to look amazing. The class all on many and the offers on select models.
Lease the 2025 GX 55 36 months. This ritualistic burning of ZOZO BRA has evolved so much since 1924. Today, you'll hear growling and music while watching a unique performance on stage as hundreds of drones create vibrant imagery in the sky. All of this followed by bright fireworks. Production igniting our imaginations. This was always a goal of Will Schuster, but it took years to get to this point. In its first decade, the burning of ZOZO BRA was quick, lasting just a few minutes. By the mid-30s, Schuster developed a myth and knew he needed to incorporate those new
Got some little kickballs. I might give one to my mom.
Performers were still making their way to Santa Fe. Much of the draw, Native American culture.
John, who was this famous ballet dancer from New York, had moved to Tasuka.
He was looking to learn from the Zuni and Hopi people, then incorporate those dances.
Why do they look cute?
Will Schuster loved the idea of someone with so much skill and notoriety dancing in front of his monster as it burned. So he went to Cartier and asked him to perform.
Jacques is pretty much like, get out. You know, he just feels like it's completely beneath him. So Schuster invites Jacques to the construction of ZOZO BRA that year. And says, here's basically what the roles are, but you can create this any way that you want. Jacques decides not to do it, but he attends incognito. He didn't want anybody to know he was there. And he watches this spectacle. And is just immediately entranced and was like, oh, I can make this better. The next day, contacts Schuster and says, oh, I'm so sorry, I got dates wrong. Right, I forgot that you were doing this thing. Did you do it? And, you know, Schuster's like, yes. And Jacques' like, oh, you know.
I am gonna take Luna outside.
And he's like, well, that just gives us a year plan.
Cartier started right away, writing what he called the pageant of gloom and joy. Then fashioned a costume and the fire dancer's iconic hat, adding feathers to give the sense of fire as he danced.
The headpiece was supposed to evoke light and fire and some space between this big, huge marionette and myself, so to give it some grandeur.
Cartier also developed the choreography to symbolize the battle of good and evil. ironically basing his character off of Jack Frost.
Which is this whimsical, arrogant, I have the world at my feet, nothing can ever happen to me, that would really give the fire spirit kind of the needed bravado to go against the ZOZO.
Jacques danced in front of Old Man Gloom for the first time in 1939.
It was more tribal, it was more guttural, and it was just to a nice rhythm. And the movement was incredible.
As spectators witnessed this beautiful dance, Jacques was navigating a lot of danger on stage.
There's rocks on the steps are uneven, they're made out of stone. I don't know how he did this, but Jacques wore his little slippers, the ballet slippers.
Jacques was once quoted saying, "I even broke both my ankles. Thank God, not at the same time."
When Jacques Cartier started dancing, there were tumbleweeds and all these fire hazards.
In the mid-50s, Schuster has a barrel of gunpowder. He decides, wouldn't it be great if we just created this moon around the base of ZOZO BRA? Well, nobody tells Jacques. So Jacques gets to the top of the stairs and he's dancing, and a little bit of the flame falls into this, into the gunpowder. And it literally obliterated ZOZO BRA, right? Hurt Jacques' costume. He didn't get hurt.
By the way, this live is gonna be 3 hours long.
Eventually, he cooled off and went on to be the
'Cause-
longest-running fire dancer in history. In 1970, he passed the torch to his ballet student and understudy.
Because they're gonna,
What Chip brought to the role was
so-
a more angular movement. 'Cause Chip
right
was
now
so
they're like
fit in any of these
only
amazing
talking of
lines and angles.
what they're gonna do to ZOZO BRA.
Dancing here for more than 30 years.
Yeah,
Then his
the
daughter
story,
portrayed the role.
the story. And then, at like,
After a couple of
I
years
think,
battling gloom, she stepped down. Helene Luna,
at 8 they're gonna burn him.
took the stage in 2007.
Stepping into the shoes of the fire dancer, that first year, I gotta tell you, I had never been more nervous in my life.
Chip was able to calm her nerves, serving as a mentor to Helene.
I'm gonna burn our gloom. I'm gonna get rid of this entity of gloom and doom. It's up to me to take the energy from the crowd and get this done. And so he, passed on that intensity.
The voice is the emotion that's coming out.
Bill Parnall is the voice of ZOZO BRA. He's bringing what he calls a classic sound to the beast.
I wanted to bring it back to the old gravelly sound that he had. I think it's more scary.
But in the early days, ZOZO BRA didn't
Ew.
make any sound.
His arms are moving and his head is moving, right? And somebody from the crowd's just yelling out moans and doing these things. And they're like, oh, that's a great idea.
So Schuster decided to play a recording of a lion, looping a roar over and over.
Somebody actually makes a comment, an offhanded comment to Schuster that the voice doesn't really go.
Okay.
Right? Because it's the lions, and so
Well, good
the
night.
spirit comes out.
Someone
and
stole my
does
food.
stuff, and it's the same emotion or the same sound, and then you're just looping it. And so it really was this disconnect.
Schuster took the criticism to heart. He knew he needed a real voice to interact with the crowd and the fire spirit.
And then as he's getting excited from his minions coming up behind him, he's a little bit happier.
Those minions are called gloomies. Historically, they've been played by kids in Santa Fe.
There has to be a very obvious back and forth between the gloomies and the torchbearers.
Once the gloomies are scared away, ZOZO BRA isn't happy.
And then when I realized that this little person is intimidating me, and I go forward with some aggressive growl, and then she backs off, and then she comes back with flames.
You're being beaten down, too. Play with that. Show what it's like to maybe stumble on the stairs or maybe lose the energy and how to get that back.
Positive energy from the crowd feeds the fire spirit.
Every time that fireworks are going around, ZOZO BRA is he's moving more and more energy, which allows the fire spirit to take control.
Defeating ZOZO BRA and celebrating another tradition passed from fire spirit to fire spirit.
Getting that money shot, which is going back up to the top of ZOZO BRA, turning around, knowing that his head is on fire, lifting the arms, taking a moment with the crowd who has invoked me, and it's like, okay, I've done the job, here it is.
As the marionette falls to action, the band plays the Fiesta song as thousands of Santa Feans sing along, celebrating their new year.
That's what Will Schuester captured. Let's have a new beginning. Let's burn.
Whoever's still in the live, that's what they're gonna do to ZOZO BRA. They're gonna burn him.
Getting rid of what's bothering us is something that has been part of this tradition since Schuester lit his friends' glooms on fire at a bar, declaring their gloom gone.
ZOZO BRA makes you feel sad. I mean, I put my mother's death certificate in ZOZO BRA and saw it burned. ZOZO BRA is there to make me happy. It's like, oh, the gloom, it's all gone.
Today, thousands of sorrows pack this puppet.
So the actual action of writing down your glooms, your fears, your doubts, everything you want to release, and putting it into the fire symbolizes freedom, releasing fears, releasing the past, really intentional.
Hundreds flock to the gloom table, quickly writing down their gloom just hours before he goes up in flames. Some even dropping off items they need gone.
Lots of photos of exes, lots of divorce papers, letters if they've lost their jobs, they bring financial documents. I had a lot of women tell me groups who bring their mammogram scans after getting breast cancer.
Even wedding dresses. And 2020 was a year filled with sadness and depression. A year we all wanted to forget. So organizers collected calendars to burn.
The fire really brings symbolic ritual to it.
It was also the first time glooms were collected from all over the world. People could even decide where to place it inside of ZOZO BRA.
And so then when he burns, you can actually visualize exactly where your gloom is.
Letting go of these nasty feelings is just $1, and money funds programs for kids.
We donate to organizations like Cooking for Kids that teaches kids how to make a healthy meal for themselves. Jimmer's House, which is an operation that helps kids work through the loss of a parent. Girls on the Run, Girls Inc., ways to make young women smart, strong, and bold.
But using it as a fundraiser hasn't always been part of the tradition.
Why the fuck does he have a long nose there?
This effigy was paid for by Schuester himself.
Constructing ZOZO BRA, the fireworks, all of these things. People donated in town to help them out, but it just got very, very expensive.
Looking for ways to defer some of the costs, he decided to sell small dolls.
A nickel to actually buy one, and then you'd be able to write down what your gloom was. You return it to Fort Marcy, and you get another nickel when you burnt it. So they were like, these are two sources of revenue.
At the same time, a women's club had just formed in Santa Fe, and the group was in need of money.
Schuester, being the generous person that he is, decides to take from his plan to fund ZOZO BRA and says to them, why don't you sell these Gloomy dolls?
Still looking for ways to fund the bill, Schuester allowed people to tailgate into the park for a donation, but it still wasn't generating enough cash. So he came up with another scheme.
They would send people out to the plaza after ZOZO BRA had burned, and if they found people who weren't smiling or still grumpy, they would go and they'd tag you with this violation, and it would say on it, ZOZO BRA has just burned. All your gloom is gone. You've been found showing gloom, and therefore you owe us $1.
People actually pay these violations, sometimes donating more than the fine, allowing ZOZO BRA to burn brightly each fiesta.
While the idea of burning gloom is the core of this tradition, it's still a big art project.
All this paper's gonna go up here and then go into flames.
How Schuster's original blueprint is still used today, and what organizers do to keep his look fresh each year.
ZOZO BRA's Legacy of Fine is sponsored by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union, Albertsons Market.
Watch, another ad is gonna play. Yep, see, another ad.
Isn't just where we are, it's who we are.
Another ad about milk.
To work with trusted partners like Greenland, who pour their passion into every step of their products, from the bottling process down to production at the dairy. Working side by side with local producers is at the heart of what we do, because we share a story of local pride and deep roots in the communities we serve. Albertsons Market, where freshness and value meet right here at home.
Ads are low-key annoying.
Celebrate the 101st birthday of ZOZO BRA at ZOZO BRA. A fund that never goes out. New Mexico residents get it free the first Sunday of the month. Go to
another ad, and it's about health.
Sickness to well care. I'm scared of care. You can do this care. Long nights to hard days care. A calling to care. A longing to care. I'm here care. There are so many ways to care. Find your path at Sienna.
With a new Toyota from Toyota's National Sales Event, summer plays on. Whether you're teaching the art of
Sometimes I wish
showing up for the home team,
sometimes I wish there's like a skip button that you could press and you could skip
summer playing anywhere.
you could skip the ads.
Right now, lease the rugged new Toyota 4Runner for $439 per month.
But since
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go
since
places.
I'm Bert Park.
the news is live,
I live here. I've been here for almost 30
you won't be able to skip the ads, sadly.
My commitment to justice runs as deep as my roots.
And ads are annoying.
332.
Cleansing and relief achieved by turning the bad to ash. That's the core of the burning of Will Schuster's ZOZO BRA. But making the vessel to do away with that gloom takes a lot of work, closely following Schuster's original plans from 1924. Constructing this 50-foot puppet is not an easy task.
4.4.
Each piece is carefully measured, cut to prepare the frame.
Did you write them all? The framework is the same framework from Will Schuster. It's composed of multiple frames. These three do their perfect job.
A combination of shaped structures from squares to trapezoids make up the body.
Kind of got like bunched up there, but it looks good now.
Then, more than 70 yards of cotton fabric are sewn together to create ZOZO BRA's dress.
30, 40, 50 people to help just hold the fabric because it gets heavy. And then it takes time to coordinate that fabric to back and forth.
Then it's
It
time
looks
to get the
hard to
community
build
involved.
ZOZO BRA.
on my wife right now. An army of children called in, stuffing glue into chicken wire.
It's hard time trying to get all this paper to get in the wires.
To give the marionette its form.
It's about 1,500 to 1,800 pounds worth of paper shreddings that go inside ZOZO BRA. Depending on our stuffing gear that we have, it could range between 1,500 to 1,800 pounds.
More than 3,500 volunteer hours go creating this beast.
I'm thinking about my glue as I'm building it. So, a lot of people get stuff their glue inside of ZOZO BRA. I actually get to embed my worries into the framing of it.
Then a special moment on the morning of the burn.
It's kind of like the Masons and the handshake. But there's a way in which we wake ZOZO BRA up for his big day. And it's always happened that way, and it's something that's really important to us.
Everybody understand the game plan.
Finally, it's time to move the massive puppet.
We're lifting with our knees.
Hundreds of volunteers are needed.
1, 2, 3.
Carrying him
Hi,
out
puppet.
piece by piece.
It's kind of funny to see because if we get a decent sized crowd to help us carry out the marionette, it looks like he's crowd surfing.
And loading him onto several truck beds.
He's important enough that you have to be processed for.
Stopping all traffic along the way and making sure ZOZO BRA gets transported safely.
Once we're there, that's when we actually color his hair. ZOZO BRA's hair is the big secret. If there are no other secrets, that will always be a secret. His hair is never revealed.
I'm not just
Then he's positioned onto the pole.
The most difficult part is when we're actually hoisting him up and before he's actually secured off.
For more than 80 years,
so-
the Public Service Company of New Mexico has raised
I can't
the beast.
speak right now.
Today
I
we
don't know
use
why.
bucket trucks, but this technology
Anyway,
wasn't always available. Look at this photo.
I'm
You can see
watching
linemen climbing the pole to lift
the
ZOZO
live
BRA up by
the
hand.
live
But there's
news
something about
for ZOZO BRA. They're gonna burn him
thousands of pounds being slowly raised up on the
in
pole,
like
and then standing there
in about 2
upright
hours
out looking at
or
all
so.
the people down in the field and knowing that in the space of a few short hours everything's going to be different.
The job has
Right now
only
they're
become
just
harder
telling
over
the
years
story.
Because ZOZO BRA has gotten bigger. Schuster's first monster was just about 6 feet tall, then grew to 15, and eventually 38. Now the puppet towers over the crowd at 50 feet 6 inches,
once holding a world record for the largest marionette. While his size has remained constant since 2000, his appearance is always a surprise.
He was old, he was fat, he was bald.
This was during the Great Depression, as if he ingested too much gloom. ZOZO BRA even had legs.
Schuster decides to create his own absence.
It was the early 1930s. Alcohol manufacturing, sales, and consumption had been banned for years in the U.S.
They put ZOZO BRA, they get it up, and then Schuster breaks out this bootleg absence for everybody. So everyone's drinking it.
I can't believe that ZOZO BRA is 50 feet tall.
A gust of wind caught the puppet and slammed it into the pole, breaking the legs.
They decide they're going to try to fix it. And now they decide that they can't even pick up the ladder because of this bootleg absence. And so ZOZO BRA burns with a ghost tail for the very first time. People came back and said how spectacular it was, and the flames that they were crawling up, and that he looked more ethereal and more like a specter because of the fact he didn't have legs. And so ZOZO BRA never had legs ever again.
Schuster never wanted his creation to be political.
But there was a period in which they made a ZOZO BRA was called Hero Hitlerless. He had a little bit of the Hitler mustache, he had glasses, slanted eyebrows. And I think that was a response that it seemed to me very natural for people who were undergoing a World War.
One common thread in his appearance,
Ugly versions of ZOZO BRA.
and comfort button, dressed in his best for his big party. For many years, the only surprise was the color of his hair until 2014 with the introduction of the Decades Project.
We did this for our locals because we wanted to make sure people had a real incentive to return to ZOZO BRA every year.
Taking a journey through the puppet's rich history, representing the 20s with a whiplash mustache, going back to that short, fat look he had in the Depression era, then depicting the 40s in a new way.
And ZOZO BRA himself, for the first time in his life,
He looks scary up close.
echoed some of the Hitlerian kind of design.
Then the 50s.
He was dressed in a cardigan sweater, which was something new for us to make an outfit like that. That was a lot of burlap dust that we dealt with.
By 2018, he was portraying the 60s with a bolo tie.
And he tried to give the peace symbol, but of course he could really only do this because there's no peace about that guy.
Throwing it back to the disco era in 2019.
This is one of my favorites. He was so sharp with the black lapels on his suit. He was as handsome as he could possibly be. And that was a great party.
Then COVID hit.
The governor has declared the coronavirus a public health emergency now.
We were committed to burning. We had never failed to burn. And we knew that our community needed this terribly.
Becoming the monster we needed him to be. His hair representing the look of the virus, murder hornet cufflinks, and 2020 stamped on his buttons. In 2021, the Decades Project resumed with a nod to the 80s and that Michael Jackson Thriller look.
He had a very greenish color to his skin, because of course he was a zombie, and he wore a beautiful jacket which burned beautifully. It kind of dripped and melted and burned for a while.
In 2022, ZOZO BRA was celebrating the 90s, boy bands and grunge, and you could see it in his appearance.
For the first time ever,
I like the tattoos that they put him.
Gave him a set of tattoos on either arm. He was wearing suspenders. He had a nice little chain for his back wallet.
Even a comb over with frosted tips. And in 2023, the final year of the Decades Project, a nod to the 2000s.
Quite magical.
Old Man Gloom appearing more sinister than ever.
I think it was last year that they dressed him up as Harry Potter.
In his appearance, his hood and cloak, and a magic wand. It's the first time this beast had ever held anything in his hand.
Red Wizard.
Then a huge milestone in ZOZO BRA's history. The tradition marking 100 years in 2024, and the beast dressed for the occasion.
My mom's laughing for
wearing
some
white
reason.
tux, classic bow tie, boutonniere, even an illuminated pinky ring. His hair gold. The fire spirit paid tribute to Jacques Cartier, the first to play the role, performing the very first dance called the Voodoo Dance before setting him ablaze for the 100th time. The flame used burning for an entire year, organizers using the power of the sun to ignite this torch. Then, on the night of the burn, that flame following Will Schuster's path from Levy to Santa Fe by train,
Runners then
If I was
carry the
on that
torch to
train, I would be
Marcy
terrified
Park,
with the fire.
presenting it to Helene Luna, the current fire spirit, where she made a big announcement. Don Povey Martinez will become the first Indigenous person to perform the role in 2027, allowing Luna to step down after 20 years dancing at the base of the beast. Just one of many things honoring this centuries-old tradition.
Everything around ZOZO BRA is a celebration.
From sparkling wine to a series of beers,
Kind of like a sweet corny birthday.
popcorn and chocolate bars,
An apricot.
Wait, they sell chocolate bars of ZOZO BRA?
even the
I never knew that.
created merchandise with his likeness.
I feel like I
Since
get to be part
when?
of the story, which is the most important thing.
The artist community doing their part.
Represent kind of fire mythology, renewal, prosperity, rebirth.
Creating more than 30 interpretations.
I carved out the souls for the piece. I carved the fire dancer that ZOZO BRA is holding in his hand.
The fiberglass statues auctioned off to support programs for kids.
The sculpture is 18 feet tall, it weighs 6,000 pounds.
And an even larger monument permanently installed at the Santa Fe Convention Center.
The eyes are hand-blown glass.
It even moves.
Not that
It was
creepy.
a large marionette, and this was a real important element for us to have this kind of motion.
That's cool that they made a statue.
I created ZOZO BRA.
Using augmented
statue
reality, this
that
experience
moves.
is brought to life.
It's a sight to behold. Flames licking up his enormous frame. The crowd cheering as he groans and writhes with the fire.
Allowing visitors to learn more about the tradition.
Fuck is this shit? I'm
And the ritual
scared.
brought to life on stage through a special music fable.
Also, excuse my language.
Using a centuries-old 2-page manuscript written by Will Schuster as a starting point. And the beast given away to take flight.
It's going to be, I think, a crowd favorite in the ZOZO BRA community and the ballooning community.
In all 25 projects, celebration fitting for New Mexico's favorite monster. With all those tributes, you can see how much our community loves ZOZO BRA. Much the same in 1940, people admired him so much that Schuster was getting requests for his monster to make special appearances.
And he said, no, I won't build you a ZOZO BRA, but I'll build you his cousin.
The deep meaning of the tradition is something Schuster wanted to keep true to New Mexico.
ZOZO BRA had a
And Schuster
cousin?
understood
I never knew that.
ZOZO BRA only appears during fiesta time, and so he needed to stand in. But of course, going back to how bad Schuster's Spanish was, instead of primo Coco, we got Tio Coco, which is really uncle.
Uncle Boogeyman, or
Ew.
Tio Coco, made his first appearance for the 1940 premiere of Ronald Reagan's film Santa Fe Trail. Schuster asked actor Errol Flynn to light it.
He got such a kick out of this because, this guy was the epitome of virility and masculinity. And he said that he was afraid to light any fireworks.
Tio Coco made it to the big screen in 1947. He seemed
That looks like
around
a-
the Santa Fe Plaza in
that-
the film Ride the Pink Horse.
That looks like that could
Dennis
appear
Hopper
in
paid
someone's nightmares.
$7,000 to create a full-size puppet for his film Backtrack. This marionette was constructed exactly like the real thing and burned in Taos for a scene.
Tio Coco's head's a little bit.
Did they say Taos?
They don't wear the same outfit. Schuster really wanted to make sure that it wasn't a ZOZO BRA in disguise, that it really was a different thing.
In 2018, Susana Martinez hosted governors from around the nation, and this burning was held just for them at Fort Marcy Park.
We all knew that we were suffering from the lack of tourism during COVID. And so we thought that it was important to do a Tio Coco for the Bachelorette so that way we could really highlight some of the unique traditions that the state has so we can get those tourism dollars back.
The 6th and most recent version hit the national spotlight.
So my purpose of working with a couple was to get them to get in touch with their fears and their doubts that came from the past so they wouldn't bring that into their new form of relationship.
Felicia Evans is a local healer. Much like ZOZO BRA, her job is to help people let go.
All the teenagers. It's so important to heal So you can be comfortable and confident in this world and not feel like something is wrong with you, right? Healing is a process. So healing each layer, getting to each layer, each negative belief, so you can feel comfortable and confident with who you are.
She says the first step of healing is bringing awareness, the same as writing down glooms.
You can feel like a sense of freedom within it all.
Doing this together creates a community calm, and that is when everyone embraces the monster, embedding him into the fabric of the city.
ZOZO BRA's popularity has outlived and outstripped the recognition of its creator.
Painting murals on walls, building figurines, even depicting the pageantry.
Wait, they made Legos of ZOZO BRA?
An icon, because he has become a part of popular culture, he has a different meaning to everyone. It's like that's why you see so many artists that are treated the same at different times.
Will Schuster was very proud of his creation.
When you read Schuster's diary, it's Geppetto and Pinocchio. He speaks about him with such care and devotion. It gives you a sense of how sacred this tradition is.
As Schuster became a senior citizen and he was unable to undertake the construction of ZOZO BRA by himself, requiring help from other parties, there was a kind of bittersweet moment where he wanted to reflect on his creation and everything that it represented.
In 1964, he did so in paint.
Will Schuster, who was a regular here,
Creating this mural at the El Nido restaurant in Tesuque.
we have some arches that were built in to the building. It sat in one of those arches.
He is thinking back about this object that he's created and how much a part of the community it has become.
That same year, Schuster had a heart attack.
Will wanted his son to be cared for in a way that was different than the Fiesta Council could do it. They had all these other events.
Kiwanis Club member Harold Gann spent many years working with Schuster to build the puppet.
He went to Schuster and he said, I will promise that Kiwanis will build a Will Schuster ZOZO BRA in perpetuity.
Schuster passed along the rights to his creation and the secrets that go with him, knowing the tradition would be preserved long past his lifetime.
The more that a tradition can live within the lifeblood of a community, the stronger that tradition is going to be. And so there are a few secrets that we try to hold on, but really Kiwanis is the keeper of ZOZO BRA's flame, but this belongs to the state of New Mexico.
Will Schuster died February 9th, 1969. He is buried in the Santa Fe National Cemetery overlooking Fort Marcy Park. For decades, his creation has given hope, cleansed grief, and provided healing for thousands of people worldwide. Tonight, we enter a new century. ZOZO BRA still here, helping rid us of our glooms. We leave you now with some of what people in our community are looking to let go of as he burns for the 101st time.
Anxiety and bad stuff that happened.
Self-doubt.
Get rid of my fears. My friends are mean to me a lot.
The things that haven't gone as smoothly as
That's
they might have
sad.
liked.
A kid said that their friends are mean to them.
Precious animals and they pass. And their little tags are gonna go into ZOZO BRA.
There's a drone. I just saw a drone.
It's pretty dramatic. It works.
Dang, look at all those people.
Hey, Fulham.
Hey, live TV. Hey.
Good evening and welcome to ZOZO BRA Live. I'm Shelley Rebecca.
Well, the technical difficulties have
That's
been
okay.
something to work with tonight.
It's cool that
Besides that, has the next
that lady, her name is Shelly.
Fire has promised perfect
Okay,
weather.
anyway,
The wind has died down.
it's cool that
Looks almost better than ever. Everybody's been talking about how this is really cool.
Ew, what is he wearing?
Tonight we are entering the next century
What
of
the
this
fuck is wrong with his hand?
Theme fitting for such an occasion, which is actually this year's Steam Pump.
Ew.
We learned a lot.
Oh,
steampunk!
steampunk.
Ready to spread his nasty blue.
So we've been talking about the theme all night. Best we can sum it up. I don't
Does
know,
not
gadget
look
made of gears, brass, looking like it came from the 19th century. Futuristic twist with this though too. So that is steampunk for you at home. It's a subgenre of science fiction design aesthetic.
Yeah, he's a hat. He has a hat.
Symbolic machinery of the Victorian era. So this is over a man decked out in all the gears and gadgets that go along with that.
He really is. You can see his hat there, brown with that really cool green trim. This is only a handful of times actually he's worn a hat. And Tom, I love the
For real.
We've been talking about that all day long. Many people wondering why goggles are important with the theme. Essentially a nod to factory workers at the turn of the century, using them to shield their eyes from sparks and debris. Also in the science fiction realm, they can portray an aviator.
It's 8:02 over here.
This guy is mad.
And then I think in an hour they're gonna burn him.
Gold designs on his sleeves. His bright red coat.
He always has big ears. Big ears.
Big. If you look closely there at the buttons along his vest, they're actually little gears.
You know, several other cool features this year.
Why is that kind of cute?
And it actually works, telling us the
He also has a little pocket watch. And kinda. And what the fuck is wrong with his other hand?
Tonight, not
He
only
might be
first
throwing
customer,
the
but
mail
also
to me.
first time.
Love it. This has to be
No,
one of the
he
most
not.
decked out ZOZO we have ever seen, and he's here to bring us down.
Dang, all those people went to go see him.
Bring some of the gloom.
Yes, the band back there that's got this party going right now. I think the power of this giant crowd is going to be enough for some of the player spirits.
What hand gesture is he even doing?
Once again.
Well, but before we get to that, we have a lot to show you. For the next 2 hours, we'll introduce you to the people who put all of this together each year.
And we are going to show you some of the new things they are adding to this experience. Some of these pretty amazing, and again, just fitting as we enter what they're calling a new era.
Yeah, and all this will actually culminate, of course, as you know, with the burning, providing cleansing and relief from what's bothering us. You'll see it happen live right here. And getting this event together, as we know, it takes so much work, so many people, so much dedication and detail for building him, bringing him here, getting him here to the park. Think about that. I'm joined now by the man, the head of it all, who puts it together, the man who makes all of it happen, Ray Sandoval. Ray, first of all, we love your outfit. We need that. Is this not the best? The hat and the shirt. It's just great.
This year, like, it's always good, but it is on the
He looks better than ever.
Yeah, I think
That's what he's wearing.
That's my favorite ZOZO.
That's so
It's
great.
gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
It's the detail.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the attention to detail.
Well, how much of that do you play a role in?
You know, so one of the things that
Oh wait,
do
I
is
think playing
Cupid
Shuffle.
Doing the Decades project, it was really natural to be able to do a time decade as we did it. Folks asked us,
Yeah, they're
how
playing
much
Cupid
we would do
Shuffle.
it. And I thought,
I like
you know
that
what?
song.
My volunteers need something different to do.
Yeah.
The kids of Santa Fe, kids of New Mexico need something different to draw.
I see a lot of
right?
people
And when I was a
dancing.
kid, the only question about the ZOZO was his hair yellow or orange, right? Now people are like, so I have kids now drawing him with like earpods, right? Or playing a Nintendo Switch, or he's wearing Crocs. That's the thing, it unlocks the imagination.
I met some kids out here who kept saying, like, every year they watch to see what he's wearing. They get really into what is he going to wear.
Yep.
You know, I think a lot of people forget. ZOZO, of course, it's fun, it's a party and all of that. But the money raised goes for such a great cause. We can't forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're able to get back to the kids of northern New Mexico. Girls Inc., their STEM class, St. Elizabeth Shelter. You know, this is where battered women have to take their kid out of the home. Sometimes they don't even have clothes. So we replace clothes, replace backpacks, you know, notebooks, get them back on started. And so this is not only an amazing event by holding up your culture, but it's investing in our future.
So we've been so happy to partner with you, and thank you so much for having us out here year after year, because it is an amazing event. The 100 last year, that was epic.
Yeah, and people are like, you're not going to be able to top that. And I say, hold my beer.
Exactly. Because, well, we were here for rehearsal with you, right, on Wednesday night, and the progression is just fantastic.
It was ugly.
Yeah, it is going to be. I think I'm so glad that we have so many viewers at home, and that was really the thing, right? We want to make sure that everyone in New Mexico can enjoy this. So thanks to both of you for coming out here and bringing it into people's homes. You know, people write me all the time. I can't walk. I
Look
can't
how
go.
huge he is
I
compared
would
to
not miss
all
this
those
opportunity.
people.
So thank you for being here.
No,
We love it.
We love it. We love that people watch and we hear how much fun it was, and that, you know, bringing it into their living room. Hey, that could comfortable too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it gets a little loud and excited. I sometimes just want popcorn and pajamas. You know?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So you've actually done this for so long. You have such a history with it. What inspires you year after year to keep doing this?
You know, there's a lot of people that just think that this is just a big party and we just light this thing on fire, right? For me, it's the lesson, right? So we create gloom in our lives. We create gloom for ourselves and for other people. We put that into the ecos. It gathers and it comes into this specter as a Zobra. And so what's so crazy about that is that we also create the fire spirit when we're generous, when we love, when we give each other the benefit of the doubt. Those things are really important too. And the dichotomy of not only that spirit of the human spirit, but then the dichotomy of the event, which is you're with 50,000 people and you're partying it up, but you yourself know what you want to get burned into Zobra. So you're having an extremely personal experience as well.
We have a few seconds left here. The Gloom Queen this year, we're going to get to see Evie before she takes over the fire spirit, and she looked great.
Yeah, she does. So the Gloom Queen appears only when we have an apprentice to the fire spirit. So you get to only see this every 30 years.
No way.
So Evie will have a Gloom Queen this year, and then next year, and then when she takes the reign as the fire spirit, no more Gloom Queen.
Right, we got to talk to Helene, a few weeks ago, who's been the fire spirit for so long. She's got so much energy. So what a good teacher, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, great. Well,
Great to see you. Yeah,
you're probably a little busy.
Yeah, I know.
Just a little bit.
Good luck tonight. Yeah. Thank you, Ray.
All right, Ray. Thanks for swinging by. The core of this tradition is really getting rid of what's bothering us.
Yeah, nothing ever bothers us though. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But for everybody else out there. In fact, his name ZOZO BRA actually means anxiety and gloom. And for months, people all over the world have been participating, sending in all their worries, which is really cool. Yeah. And people here at Fort Marcy Park, as you see, are coming to the gloom table. Look at this. This is a gloom table. It's situated right across the field from us. And this is video of people actually filling out slips of paper with all their issues, everything from health problems, financial worries, and relationship issues.
So some people, we've talked about this before, they even choose where they want to have their glooms placed inside of the beast, right? So look here, you can see his hair is $10, arms $7, belly's $5, most expensive. That'd be the middle of the chest. $15, lots of room because that's where his heart it would be. If Old Man Gloom had allows people to really kind of visualize where they're going.
Yeah, I think that's so fun when you look at his body and you see the different prices. Well, if you have something you need to get rid of, just a few minutes left now to purchase a gloom. You still have time, and they're just $1, just a regular old $1. You don't care where it goes, and this is over, just get one. The team here will print it and then place it in the base of the Zobra, and then you just scan the QR code on your screen, and don't forget that $1. Again, as we just learned from Ray Sandoval, the organizer here, that $1 supports programs for kids in our community. All right, but it's not just the slips of paper, the items that people send in too. We've heard things for years like wedding gowns and different things, medical records.
Medical scan is inside of their photos. The sky's the limit, really, of what people want to drop off there. Items that they just want to see real quick.
Yeah, there's all stuff we need to clean out and get rid of and just watch it burn tonight. Well, Sasha Ledinger is going to join us now. She's been having a lot of fun out here, too, where some of those glooms are being placed. Hey, Sasha, how's that table going?
Hi, Todd and Charlie. We're actually right behind you at the base of ZOZO BRA right now. We're here with Jacob Romero, the construction chair. We just saw you starting to stuff some of the extra glooms into ZOZO BRA. For those of us that don't know, how does it go stuffing all these glooms?
So first off, we start our glue process as we're actually cutting the lumber, as you may know. But as people come and start to submit their globes, we shred them. We stuff them into the ZOZO BRA that actually serves as his inner guts, if you will, his oogie booginess. And that's all covered with his skin, if you will. And so we're stuffing that into the very last minute, and we've had bags and bags and bags full of globes that people are still submitting from on our online system. So we are wanting to make sure that we're capturing all of the world's gloom tonight, and we're going to set it at the foot of ZOZO BRA, and we're going to light it on fire. We're going to declare them gone.
That's what we're all here for. I know there was probably like 40 or 50 bags of glooms that you guys just put in. How many of these last minute glooms, if you could guess, do you guys get?
Oh, you know what? It really can depend. I would say we're probably 500 plus this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of extra glooms. I know when we were at the table, we spoke to a lot of different people who were like, I need to get this in, I need to put this in there. Other than the paper glooms, there are a lot of other things that go into ZOZO BRA. We just saw a dress being put into ZOZO BRA.
Yes, so we just saw a ballerina dress being stuffed into ZOZO BRA. One of the most interesting things that I saw this year is a Barbie doll that was being put into ZOZO BRA. I don't know what the symbolism behind it was from the individual, but they wanted to make sure that was burned, it carried some kind of woe to them. And we want to make sure that everybody's gloom is burned. You know, we don't necessarily try to take a look and try to see what the gloom is on the piece of paper. But as we get these different other kinds of glooms in, we definitely make sure that they're put in very gingerly. We've had several wedding dresses and another wedding dress this year as well that has been put into ZOZO BRA.
Mayor, looking this close, I want to ask you one more question before we go back. He looks dapper. He looks so handsome. And we're looking at the medallion. You told me one really good thing about the medallion. The clock actually works on it.
Yes, so he is wearing a pocket watch, and it's actually working. So I don't know if you can see it from there, but please take a look on some static photos, or if you have a live video that you can zoom in on. That clock has been working all day, that he's been up there just counting, ticking, and talking to the last final minute.
I love that touch, Jacob. Thank you for squeezing us in. I do appreciate you're a busy man back here.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and helping us.
Yeah, of course. Shelly and Todd, they're going to be stuffing more balloons in. The cutoff time is 8:15 or so for those balloons at the balloon table. So there's still some time if people do need to get those balloons in. Back to you.
So it sounds like Sasha's not the only one having a good time out here. We keep hearing our call letters.
Lively. Well, our 2-year-old is Byron Morton. He's been keeping us on top of what's going on with the weather. It's all looking good. You know, he's made some friends, not just some.
We needed
like a big crowd. Yeah, let's check in with them. What do you got going down there, Byron?
Hey, there's Shelly and Todd. And you know what? These kids are not just my friends, but they are so very talented. I want to show you what they've learned. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? 1, 2, 3.
I recognize that boy with the straight jacket, whatever it is. I think I recognize him.
And there were so
I
many
think.
things that
I'm
were
not sure.
bothering them. Guess what the number one thing was, Shelly? Todd, guess.
Homework.
Exactly. And it's only a week into the school season. So, what's your 3 weeks? You've been in school for 3 weeks? They've been in school for 3 weeks and they already hate homework. But no, it's a super great vibe out here. The kids are having a good time. We're all waiting for ZOZO BRA to burn. Are you guys excited about ZOZO BRA? Is it your first time here? So I would say about half of them no and half of them yes. But what we do know is that if we don't see the energy from the burning of ZOZO BRA, we have the energy right here in this group of kids. And that's what makes this so much fun. It's not just for the adults, it's for the kids. It's a family event, and we love being here. So it's going to be a fun time. And you know what? I want to burn up the flooding because we're tired of seeing that and talking about that as far as weather's concerned. Yeah. But I get the homework thing too. What do you guys think?
Do I get a prize?
No, I don't. Yeah, that was all over that.
I wonder what those gloves that the girls are wearing. I wonder what those gloves are called.
Guys, really good. You know, as Byron mentioned though, sometimes the weather can really have a huge impact on ZOZO BRA.
We were kind of worried earlier. Byron said it was going to be good by this hour, but it was windy earlier on. They tell us one year the wind was blowing into the crowd, and the fire department actually had to create a wall of water in between ZOZO BRA and the crowd to deflect the embers, so that the embers wouldn't be out into the crowd. People got a bit wet, but ZOZO BRA ended up burning down.
Yeah, he goes up, rain or shine, they always say, but no one really wants to deal with it. And it's raining and yucky. We got a great night. And it's just really so fun. You know, it's fun. We're looking at the camera, we're talking to each other, and then every once in a while when we actually take a second, we look out into the crowd. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And everybody's got the watches this year. So these wristbands are all lit up. And it just looks so fun.
Speaking of how rain keeps on, just expanding this beautiful.
Yeah, different every year with different things, yeah.
And tonight we've been loving the music for about an hour now. Easy Band has been up on stage playing some great cover songs in the top 40 genre. Played some Blink 182 just a second ago. Take a listen as we head to break. Yeah, Easy Band. Thank you. Don't forget to pull the tab on your wrist.
101st birthday of ZOZO BRA is sponsored by the Sandia Area Federal.
An ad is gonna play again.
Mexico Department of Cultural Affairs.
Mark, seems like every day there's another lawyer talking about the gazillion dollars that they've made.
That's right, Alexis.
Ads are
They don't want
really
to talk
annoying.
about how much more they could get for each individual client if they actually litigated a fall for them.
or how many clients call unhappy because they can't even reach a lawyer at their firm.
At the Husband and Wife Law Team, we measure success based on the individual client results and the happiness of each client.
The lawyer you hire does matter. Call, text, or visit us at husbandandwifelawteam.com.
Celebrate the 101st burning of ZOZO BRA at ZOZO BRA, a fire that never goes out. New Mexico residents get it free the first Sunday of the month. Go to mmhistorymuseum.org and join us for the tradition of Old Man Glue.
Mornings and that routine, they're back.
But here at the one point,
We've got to back. Boys, always win. Preparing you for what's
Next Monday, I'm very excited for next Monday because next Monday is my birthday. Just 3 more days until my birthday. Well, yep.
Robert reading for Victor and action.
Mary, I love you more than anything. But this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
Now you're angry. Go.
But this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
He's an actor.
I'm drowning.
And cut. Great. We'll be in touch.
Good thing I went to C&M.
Hello. Yeah.
With a new Toyota from Toyota's National Sales Event, summer plays on. Whether you're teaching the art of tailgating, showing up for the home team, or finding the ultimate skybox, with a new Toyota, you can keep summer playing anywhere.
Right now, lease the 2025 Tacoma, America's best-selling midsize pickup for the last 20 years. Now for just $269 per month.
Hey!
Toyota, let's go places.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebound is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebound.com and save 10% of your complete bathroom remodel.
Such a while. I mean, since April, they've been looking at this.
Yeah, they say 50,000 people is where they capped the number at, and you look back here, I'm not great at estimation, but I mean, it looks like more than 50,000 people.
Totally fact. And we're here every year, so we can kind of tell. But it got really
well, last year was nuts for the 100, and I thought maybe it'd be a down year this year, but it's been phenomenal.
Yeah, it really has. The detail is over this year, as you've already seen, hopefully. It's just truly spectacular.
Yeah, Ray Sandoval was with us just about 10 minutes ago, and he said, I mean, he's been doing this for decades himself.
Decades.
Since he was a kid, and he said it's his favorite ZOZO BRA ever.
Yeah.
You can see the pocket watch on him. Right there.
And it works.
It works.
The pocket watch works, you guys.
What do you think the color is what makes it so unique this year? It's kind of golden or copper.
I love it. It really shines. It really does. And the hat with the gears on it. It's fantastic. And the goggles. Well, you can see in this video we're going to show you now. The construction team, what it takes to actually make this, making the cuts, using the same blueprints creator Will Schuster developed in the 1920s. That first ZOZO BRA was about 6 feet tall. So those plants have been scaled so you can reach the night's height of 50 feet 6 inches. That's tall. That's taller than you.
Yeah, just a smidge. Once the frame is built, the community then stuffs paper shredding into the chicken wire to give ZOZO BRA that shape. Much of that paper coming from shredded police reports, other community documents on sale on day 2. Perfect for the whole city. Then the front covers all of that with hundreds of yards of fabric. That's what keeps it all together.
Right. And once he's constructed, then it's time to get ZOZO BRA dressed for his big day. This year he is decked out in the gears, as we've been telling you, which is so cool. The gears in his watch actually work. He's got the top hat.
Yeah.
ZOZO BRA doesn't wear a hat very often. And then, of course, that brown, goldy, tanny jacket. It's so good.
It's all part of this steampunk theme this year. So let's hear more on what goes into creating, just this massive marionette.
Yeah, a lot.
It takes a lot of imagination to think in that scale, to imagine things being that big, what they would look like from a distance.
That part that those 2 ladies are at, they're in the mall. There's a mall in Santa Fe. they're in the mall right now.
Yeah, taking pictures.
Taking pictures of the
Jody McGinnis has been creating
picture on the wall.
courses over for 50 years now, actually. So this year her team has been working for months designing the book you see here tonight, working on weekends, ironing, sewing, and bedding their blues stitch by stitch.
You know, when you're watching this show, it's kind of easy to forget sometimes that this puppet is more than 50 feet tall, 50 feet 6 inches, if you were paying attention earlier.
Is he taller?
The largest marionette
now?
in the entire world. Not hard to believe.
Once he's on that hole and filled with all of that glue, he weighs more than 3,000 pounds as well. So it takes about 5 people, 5 to 8 people, they say, now on each arm.
I'm surprised it's not more.
Pulling the levies. Well, I think the one arm is more because it's a robotic hand this year.
I think it's probably really strong people, by the way. When we've seen video of them moving it in the day of, it's really spectacular. I would want that job, though. This year, he's becoming even more lifelike, as we've been telling you. So innovation, technology is really helping, combining the two, and it creates this really cool new feature. Surely something everyone's going to remember. It's that moving hand.
Unreal. So Sasha Leninger is behind the scenes right now, and she is going to be talking with the creator, the man who invented this glove. What's going on, Sasha?
We can't hear her. It's either the TV or it's. Never mind, it's
You
them.
can't hear us, but I know you did a lot of research into the moving fingers.
Yes. Essentially.
I have to do that.
Sorry. We can grab him back. Luke Fitch of Cinedrone.
Yeah.
Because he's got the glove on for Sasha, so I think these people might be treated to something cool. We're going to wiggle their fingers. Just
when they're up close here, yeah.
But essentially,
dang, look at all those people.
ZOZO BRA's hand will mimic his move. And it's like milliseconds time. So the second he does anything, he just has to keep that one finger down. You know, ZOZO BRA's kind of a mean guy.
Yes. I will too.
We're not going to let him do that.
And
So.
he also has those moving gears in the watch.
So cool.
That is so cool. There's a lot of new things. There's more to tell you. We're going to continue to take you behind the scenes tonight.
Yeah. First, let's enjoy. Well, we got some Easy Band was on the stage just a second ago. Let's see who's on there right now.
Another ad.
Albertsons Market and New Mexico Department of Cultural Affairs.
World of checking hotels, only the cutest stars. Oh, find the best.
Is that the one?
No, we've seen that one. Ah, yes. Elusive 5% peak plus cashback checking. A beauty. Cashback checking with Sandia Air. Rewards for your everyday adventures.
Hi folks, Lonnie Fletcher here, owner of Santa Fe Kia. As our construction continues, so do the huge savings at Santa Fe Kia. That means low down payments, low monthly payments. Combine those two, get you huge savings. Go to our website at santafekia.com, check out our whole amazing inventory, and let us know what's going to work for you. Santa Fe Kia, where we treat you different.
I have 2 options for you to take a look at.
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Fast removal, fast installation. All remodels take only days, not weeks, so you can love your bathroom sooner. Call us or visit rebath.com and save 10% of your complete bathroom remodel.
At Albertsons Market, being local isn't
I
just
hate
where
ads.
we are. It's who
Ads
we
are low-key annoying.
We're proud to work with trusted partners like Greenland, who pour their passion into every step of their products, from the bottling process down to production at the dairy. Working side by side with local producers is at the heart of what we do, because we share a story of local pride and deep roots in the communities we serve. Albertsons Market, where freshness and value meet, right here at home.
A lot of lawyers love to say they only get paid if they win, but what are they not telling you? Hi, I'm Mark Pryor.
And I'm Alexis Pryor. We're the husband and wife law team.
And they don't want you to know that in the fine print of the contract they have their client sign, it says they get paid if they win, but they still get paid if they get fired.
At the Husband and Wife Law Team, we only get paid when we win, and we put that promise in writing for you.
Do your research when you hire an injury lawyer. Call, text, or visit us at husbandandwifelawteam.com.
That's right.
Moved for the first time this year.
What's going on? Sasha Leninger is going to show us how this all works. Hey, Sasha.
We're back. We changed some batteries. Let's get back to looking at New Mexico, Senator. We're talking about this new feature for ZOZO BRA this year. Where did this idea come from? How did you make this gadget?
Well, yeah, we've been flying drones for about 12 years for ZOZO BRA, and out of that came a discussion about the eyes were the first thing that we roboticized. They were having some issues with ropes, so we now put motors in the eyes to do that. And a few years ago, we started talking, first almost as a joke, like, could we do a hand? I don't know. We've done some testing, some experimenting last year, changed the design. Now we finally think we've got something that should work, still very experimental. It's a prototype, but we're going to show it live for everyone and see what it does.
But it looks really, really cool. So let's show how it operates. So it sticks on your hand here. As you move, it moves, correct?
So each of these fingers on my hand is connected directly through a wire to one of the fingers in the puppet. And it's a little slower because it's so big, but basically everything you do with your hand here, it reproduces.
Can you show us how it goes? Let's do it. He's pressing the big red button, and so here we go. As he moves his hand, you'll see ZOZO BRA move. Ready? So tell us what
Oh, that's cool.
My hand now.
Oh, so Tom and Joel, if you turn around, you can see the fingers of ZOZO BRA.
Dang, that man is smart.
Moves his gadget on his hand. So this is going to make the crowd go wild, and we'll see it live during the show in just a few minutes. Back to you.
It's not going to happen just now. But we want to make sure that you guys know the right
Oh, that was super cool to see up close like that. You know, one of the best parts, speaking of this, one of the best parts of the whole event is the cool merchandise. You know, every year, different artists get involved, include this hat here. This is cute, right?
Yeah, you have a headset
It's not on real well because I have a headset. But here's the hat, and this I love. It's a yo-yo.
Oh, yo-yo.
I can't really yo-yo. But it lights up like it's so cool. Yeah,
Goggles have been kind of sweet, haven't they?
you look
Oh,
so good.
steampunk goggles.
We were wearing those earlier.
And then I had to ask Todd before we came out, what is this?
And you're keeping that one.
Should I try to say, it's a little uncomfortable. Oh, that's nice. That was tall. I'm going to use this on the set because Doug's always so much fun.
The best part of all of this, proceeds are going to help kids in the community. So I do think we have the QR code, I believe, that we can pop up on the screen right now, guys. And that is where you can go if you want to order. That is where you can go. Well, maybe that QR code's going to pop up. If you want to order any of the stuff that's coming up here with merchandise versus
You know, and as I mentioned, the thing that's so cool about all this is that they were designed by local artists. Did you show the socks, by the way?
No, we did not.
I don't know if we could come back to us, but I have a feeling some people from the crew, these are going to be up for grabs for sure before we leave tonight. But they're so cool. Look at this. And make him wear those on the ear.
Right. He gets the way those.
Yeah, very cool.
So each year, ZOZO BRA then talking about these posters. ZOZO BRA enthusiasts submit their ideas with the goal of becoming the official T-shirt artist or the poster artist. Categories for both adults and kids. This year's official poster was designed by Jacob Reyes, highlights steampunk. Design actually looking a lot like ZOZO BRA does tonight. First grader Marcus Trujillo, he designed the Topper T-shirt. Showing the fire spirit setting.
So good.
And the official T-shirt design features ZOZO BRA flying in a balloon powered by steam wagon, just like the inventions of the steampunk genre. Artist Raymond Archibald tells us about what it means to have his work recognized.
We're talking 101 years tradition that's still going strong. There's a lot of people that come out and just have your art recognized and to have your design on posters, T-shirts, any kind of merchandise, and people around the states, around the world could be wearing it. It's such an honor.
Santa Fe Brewing Company has been partnering with ZOZO BRA for 5 years now, and Can we get one of those?
It's a pretty big deal. I don't know. There's no samples or anything on the table. We've got one. You may remember last year there were actually 3 special beers to celebrate the centennial. Let's take a closer look. People loved these actually so much last year that they decided to can it for the first time. And this special can, it features the work of Santa Fe artist Jim Vogel. You can see ZOZO over there. So cool. Look at that on the can. And the fire spirit battling things out. Now, the beer is a dark Mexican lager that can be described as a Negro Modelo with a kick.
It probably has a little bit more chocolate notes to it, and it does drink more like a lager than an ale. So it is a little bit smoother, I would say. It's very rounded. It's very velvety on the tongue. It's just a very easy drinking dark lager.
All right, this was a limited release with only 600 cases available, but the beer's available on tap right here at Fort Marcy Park for tonight's burn, as well as all Santa Fe Brewing tap rooms.
The cans
and
look
they
cool.
plan to keep doing it this year, each year. The can will feature a new design for ZOZO BRA fans, so these are looking to become collector's items, by the way. So I guess you'd have to just rinse it out, make sure, try and rinse it really well. But the most important thing, a portion of each beer sold will support the Kiwanis Foundation's funding for youth programs for our kids in our state.
This event is really about building community. It's about giving back. Will Schuster gave the Santa Fe Kiwanis Club right to his monster. That would have been 1964. Since then, they've given more than $3.5 million.
That takes a lot of talent.
Focusing on children and families.
That's right. And last year's Centennial Burn alone raised $100,000. That money was divvied up across 16 organizations throughout our state. Sasha Linenger is going to show us their work and how your support is helping them.
When you burn your glooms away, you're helping organizations across New Mexico.
One of our biggest glooms is having to turn people away from our programs because they're full. And the only way we can expand our capacity is by having more support from our community in terms of volunteers and donors.
Adaptive Sports Program New Mexico.
What we provide is really a sense of empowerment and inclusivity.
Grateful for their $7,500 grant. They serve 300 people a year, making outdoor activities more accessible for disabled children and adults.
My big bill would be $1,200 a month. Last month I spent $9,200. It just has skyrocketed.
Benvenidos Outreach.
They're eating good and they're eating healthy, and it's also changing the families.
Eager to use the $10,000 they received to help feed children and families all across Santa Fe. The Rio Riva Imagination Library also getting that same grant.
If you look at the numbers, and the fact is, in Rio Riva County, the adult literacy is so low that some of these people just cannot qualify for jobs.
Their goal, helping children read by giving kids a book every month. Several organizations receiving $5,000 grants, including Gerard's House.
Our commitment is to providing free and bilingual grief support for kids, teens, and also adults.
The Santa Fe Children's Museum, teaching kids about arts, sciences, and humanities. And Girls Inc.
I can be myself.
An organization inspiring young ladies of all ages.
I am strong, smart, and bold.
We're essentially just giving girls and young people the tools to be able to be successful in their lives and to be the heroes in their own stories.
We were really thrilled to get a grant this year.
These organizations.
I opened my email and there was congratulations to you, and it was amazing.
See ZOZO BRA as their hero.
Elation and gratitude, we're very gracious and very happy.
Supporting their cause and strengthening our community. Sasha Linenger, KOAT Action 7 News.
One group really looking to bring people together here in such a unique way. We're joined by Jordan Javier with Pueblo dance group Matu. Jordan, would you tell us the meaning behind Matu?
Sure, just real quick, I'd like to just say, Kumbia Beauty, Sengi Kun, Takiribo, people of it, Ogapoge, Ominge, Kuntawa, Baikibo. I'd just like to welcome everybody here for being here in my language. Beautiful. And just going right into it, Matu, our dance group, means family in my table language. So it means family or all relations, and that's what we're all about. we're about bringing everybody together and sharing our culture and teaching it as well.
How wonderful. Tell us where you're from and when you started with the dance.
So I'm from Santa Clara Pueblo, Milwaukee Pueblo, Taos Pueblo, Tohono Nation. I reside in Santa Clara Pueblo with my family. We started years ago. You know, my parents and grandparents were the ones who actually started the group.
Wow.
And we're just continuing it on with our children and our youth.
Nice.
Why has ZOZO BRA turned out to be such a good platform for you guys' partnership?
Well, ZOZO BRA is actually a really great platform for us because it allows us to share the culture of what we're all about and what this is about, which is unity, bringing everybody together because we all live under the same circumstances. You know, there's a lot of evilness here in this world, and that's what Old Man Blue represents. So by burning that, you know, it's like us starting fresh. And within our culture, that's what we do. We do a lot of praying, dancing. It's just a form of all of that and healing everybody.
Spreading some unity for everyone. Everyone welcome. What a nice message. All right. Well, thank you so much. We're going to enjoy your piece tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And last thing, go Santa Fe Indian School Braves.
We got that in.
We love a shout out.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Right now, we're about 30 minutes away.
We're getting closer.
From the
Yes.
101st birthing of ZOZO BRA.
And, you know, the excitement's continuing to build. People are thinking, oh, when is it going to happen? You know, it's sort of around 9. The big festivities really begin. And there's so much pageantry that goes into this event.
Totally. Some of the ways technology is enhancing this experience, we're going to be talking about that. But first, a short break.
Another ad, of course. In the meantime, I'm gonna check how much battery my mom's phone has.
Cargo, turn off my debit card. I got it. I got my card. Cargo, turn off my debit card. Using Fargo. You can with Wells Fargo. What else can Fargo do? Quickly tell you what you spend on daily life.
What did I spend on groceries this month?
Hey, Dad, we gonna stay for dinner?
Learn more at wellsfargo.com/dearmom.
At Albertsons Market, being local isn't just where we are, it's who we are. We're proud to work with trusted partners like Greenland, who pour their passion into every step of their products, from the bottling process down to production at the dairy. Working side by side with local producers is at the heart of what we do, because we share a story of local pride and deep roots in the communities we serve. Albertsons Market, where freshness and value meet, right here at home.
Looking for the best in roofing and gutter solutions? Look no further than Otero Brothers Roofing and Seamless Gutters. 3 generations of expertise, real name you can trust, and technical from gutter damage and erosion. Call now for a free estimate and experience the Otero Brothers difference. Celebrate the 101st birthday of ZOZO BRA. That's ZOZO BRA, a fun that never goes out. New Mexico residents get it free the first Sunday of the month. Go to nlhistorymuseum.org and join us for the tradition of Old Man Blue.
I hate that ad. It's annoying.
Every time. At Sprouts, you'll find healthier and whole.
But this store is literally named Sprouts, aka Sprout.
Sprouts Rewards is here, and you can join today. Earn points, explore perks, and enjoy savings. This is that Sprouts feeling. In the wild world of checking returns, only tequila styles. Oh, I like the best. Is that the one? No, which next one? Ah, yes. Here you sit. 5.25% peak plus high yield checking. That's root beauty. Plus high yield checking the Sandia area. Everyday adventures.
That is very different today than it was years and years ago.
Yeah, they said when ZOZO BRA first started, it lasted just a few minutes, actually.
It's like they just burned it and went home.
They probably went ahead and drink it. But hard to imagine that
That's
what we
funny.
see here today. ZOZO BRA's creator, Will Schuster, he realized there needed to be more build up to the burning. He worked with the editor of the Santa Fe Night 16 to come up with really this story, the myth.
Okay. Very cool. Today, that's still the story, actually, behind the eerie.
Ignore what that noise was.
Creature causing mischief in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. And once a year, the town invites him to a party. So he gets all dressed up, comes to Santa Fe. They intend to destroy him. But instead, ZOZO BRA uses his powers to take joy and happiness from the children, turning them into what are called gloomies. The people rise up with flaming torches, and through their good energy, they summon the fire spirit who gets rid of ZOZO BRA, eventually burning all of those sorrows away.
It's such a cool story, Brett. It's a fun reason why we like to bring this to people across the TV. The pageantry you'll see tonight, it reflects that story. So this year is exciting because the ZOZO is getting extra help to bring gloom here to Santa Fe.
Yeah, it's really cool. The Gloom Queen, as she is called, will be leading the group of 30 kids. 30 kids. It's so cute. We saw it during rehearsal. They're going to be performing as gloomies out there tonight. That's what you're going to see. Sasha Leninger is backstage right now to introduce us to the Gloom Queen. Hi, Sasha.
Hi, Todd and Shelley. I'm here with Tan Poby Martinez. You may say, isn't she the next fire spirit? That would be correct, but not until 2027. So right now, she is the Gloom Queen. Poby, thank you for joining us.
Uh-oh.
Talk to me about how this all came about for you.
It's starting to get laggy.
Started with the audition last summer in 2024. The Kiwanis ZOZO BRA Club had put out a call for the audition for the Thrill of the Fire Spirit. I responded and I got the information via email. They gave me the information for the audition. I showed up. It was me and quite a few other ladies. And we came up to these stairs that you see behind us, and Old Man Gloom was in here, of course. And we had the opportunity to show what we had, show our choreography, or make it up on the spot. I did a little bit of both, structured improv, and I used the original score that Jack Cartier danced to when he was the fire spirit. And about a week and a half later, they contacted me and told me that I had gotten the role, but they said, can't tell anybody, hush, hush, hush. So I couldn't tell my family, I couldn't tell my friends for about another 3 weeks when they finally released information to the public. And it was such a good moment for all of us, because I'll be the first Indigenous woman to be taking this role. And it's really special. It just feels like a good coming together moment, not just for me as a youth, but a young adult, but for all of us Indigenous peoples here coming together. And it feels good to it feels good to get the opportunity to light the fire. And currently I'm taking the role of the Queen of Gloom. It's the understudy role, so I can get myself oriented to performing in front of the audience, getting used to the stairs, and it's a wonderful opportunity to get to perform with Colleen herself, because she's such a light. She not only is the fire spirit, but she has such a beautiful light that she carries, and it's been an honor to
Her makeup's pretty.
I'm excited to see what these next 2 years will bring and what fire them will do. And you know, you're going out with 30 gloomies tonight. We have one of them next week. They really want to come over. Talk to me about what is it like to be a gloomie? How hard has it been to practice? It's not really been that hard to practice. It's pretty fun, to be honest. I love being a gloomie. This is my 2nd year in a row, and I love dancing with ZOZO BRA, and I loved meeting Poby this year. Oh, how awesome. You can see what she's dressed. This is what we're going to see. One of the 30 gloomies right here, Todd and Shelley, will be taking the stage pretty soon. Back to you.
So Poby becomes the fire spirit in 2027. And it's incredible that it features the 5th fire spirit in this.
Right, 5th. And this is the 101st year of ZOZO BRA. So if you think about it, that's pretty incredible. The dedication people have, and they stay with the role. Like Colleen Luna, who's been the fire spirit. We've gotten to know her year after year.
It takes it so seriously. It takes pride in doing that.
Loves it. It's really special for her. It's really cool. Well, the first fire spirit, Jacques Cartier, a famous ballet dancer back in the 30s. He created the dance, calling it a pageant of gloom and joy. His performance had a tribal and rhythmic feel. He danced 31 years. He did this 31 years before passing the torch to Chip Lewenthal, dancing from 1970 to 2003. Oh, just a couple of years. That was actually 34 years. So Chip was a family affair because his daughter even took the role for a few years after him.
Right, yeah.
Cool.
2007, current fire spirit, like you had mentioned, Colleen Luna took the stage. She duetted from Lily and Doll. So her last dance is going to be next year for a grand total of 20 years. That's when Poby will ignite a new performance showing us how she will end ZOZO BRA's reign of broom, and Kobe has such a unique dance style. Can't wait to see it. Hey, secrets are part of any great tradition, right?
That's right, the good secrets. That's what we live for, right? Well, I'll tell you what, the ZOZO BRA definitely no exception. We were given a little insight into what some of those secrets are. First, the ZOZO BRA is not a complete figure. If this is so cool, Todd. If you were to look behind him, he doesn't look like a puppet at all. I don't know if I want to ruin it here. Pictures of this are forbidden, though, to keep the audience imagination alive.
It's why you can't access that roadshow. That's the idea. They have blocked up. Another secret, Will Schuster's fascination with the number 3. There are a lot of 3s in the measurements of the ZOZO BRA when it comes to starting the show. So tonight it's going to start on a 3. It'll be 9:23, for example. So if there are delays, you do have to wait until the next 3 on the clock.
You know, it's funny, organizers tell us there are actually many more secrets that they can't share, and those secrets...
So they're gonna burn him on 9.
That's kind of how we keep them.
9:23.
His goal was to keep adding to the excitement, so he knew how unique his creation was. He wrote his diary, quote, "This is a new form of spectacle, and human beings love spectacle."
Right, also saying that black sky is a canvas that can be painted with fireworks.
That's cute. That little boy has a capybara plushie.
Fireworks stars.
One of our favorite reasons for doing this.
Yeah, something we're going to look forward to a little later in the show. For 78 years, Jim Burnett's family's been doing just that. He has seen all sorts of changes, from flaming saucers that can no longer be used for safety reasons, and of course the colorful explosions filling the sky. Some of the fireworks are even on stage and part of the pageantry, as we'll see.
We have what's called a headdress, which is above the top of Zozo's head. Niagara Falls, which is waterfalls that actually cascades down on either side. Powder tree is some really hot powder that the fire dancer actually initiates.
So 400 drones are going to be lighting up the sky tonight. Not just fireworks, but then we also have the drone shows. Rick Boss of Sky Elements Drone Shows is with us today. You have one of the coolest names I've ever heard.
Well, I appreciate that. It took me a long time to pick my parents.
Yeah, well, you did it right. That Rick was just perfect. The drone show is perfect. So we saw it for the 100 last year. It's fantastic. What are you guys doing this year to make it different?
This year, we are changing up. The theme is what's awesome. This steampunk theme, perfect for the drones.
Really?
My artists have just loved working on this. When they heard that was the theme, they just went crazy. So they've had a ton of fun designing the show for us tonight. One of the things we're going to change up too is last year we did drones a little bit at a time. This time we're going to send them all at the same time, so it's going to be even bigger.
Well, it was really memorable. So many people really talked about the drones afterwards. So great job. Now, anything? Do you have a special? I mean, we saw a little bit of the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's all great, but do you have a favorite part of it? Is there something that just really?
Can I say? I heard there's all these secrets here. I don't know.
You can say anything. This is your
show.
This is yours.
Okay. Steampunk, there's going to be a factory. See if you can see the factory there.
Okay.
That is my favorite animation.
Factory.
There's another one that I won't spoil it.
Okay.
It's right there. I want everybody to love it.
You guys have a great business right now too, because these are popping up all over the place, especially as fireworks. In some places where there is fire danger, right? We see that balloon fiesta as well. Can you tell us about how you design these and how the process works?
Yeah, it is quite a process. Most of the works actually happens before we even show up. So our designers meeting with the ZOZO BRA team for months. Literally just started almost a year ago and really heavy for the last 6 months. And our design team, they spend over 120 hours designing this show. So quite a bit of time goes in just making everything just right in the sky.
So once you get the design done, then it's about basically pressing play tonight?
That's essentially it. A little more goes into it. So we've got 12 people back there setting up the drones, making sure everything is safe, everything's in the right place, and then when the time comes, we hit play.
Well, we can't wait. And again, I guess we all have to remember, look for the factory. Thank you so much.
Thanks, you all. Appreciate it.
Still look more to come as the clock gets closer to Old Lake Road burning.
And another ad.
So many people.
I hate ads.
Yeah, we're gonna take.
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way.
Ignore the background
Don't
noises.
relocate, renovate. As your needs change, update your bathroom with aging and accessibility solutions designed to keep the space safe and stylish. Call us or visit rebath.com and save 10% on your complete bathroom remodel.
Enjoy an emission-free driving experience with Ford Mustang Mach-E or F-150 Lightning, both zero-emission vehicles, and both with 0% for 72 months. Only at New Mexico Ford dealer. The 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0% for 72 months, plus $4,000 bonus cash. Or choose the 2025 Ford F-150 Lightning with 0% for 72 months, plus receive Ford's power bonus, a calculator with charging savings, and installation. Discover the Ford legends and gas-free technology today at Ford Mexico Ford dealer.
Celebrate the 101st birthday of ZOZO BRA. That's the ZOZO BRA. A fun that never goes out. New Mexico residents get it free the first Sunday of the month. Go to nmhistorymuseum.org and join us for the tradition of Old Man Club. In the wild world of checking the Bibles, only the keenest eyes. Oh, find the best. Is that the one? No, we've seen that one. Oh, yes. You use it. 5% peak plus cashback checking. A true beauty. Cashback checking with Sandia Air. Rewards for your everyday adventures.
At Albertsons Market, being local isn't just where we are, it's who we are. We're proud to work with trusted partners like Greenland, who pour their passion into every step of their products, from the bottling process down to production at the dairy. Working side by side with local producers is at the heart of what we do, because we share a story of local pride and deep roots in the communities we serve. Albertsons Market, where freshness and value meet, right here at home.
We're in the extreme heat part of the year. We want to make sure you are ready for today's and that's why we give you Impact Network Day. We are here to make sure that you are prepared for whatever weather comes, especially during some months with that extreme heat.
Over live coverage, well, this is when it starts to get good, right? The crowd has found their situation, they found their seats, found their spots,
They're
and
ready.
it is just a perfect night so far for this burn.
They are focused on him. You know, as we know, ZOZO BRA, it's such a big part of the culture throughout our state. You know, we see everything from the murals to the statues to the paintings, so much stuff, so much memorabilia we see throughout the year with the ZOZO BRA's face on it. And for years, people have given their interpretation, you know, of the beast. Much of it is showcased each year at ZOZO Fest, as we know, the weekend before the burning. We certainly learn a lot there.
New Mexico United even held the game this year in honor, offering fans an opportunity to write in a gloom after the game. And some lucky attendees even left with a unique bobblehead this year.
That must be so cute to see, actually. This year, the New Mexico Lottery trying to do away with the glue for some lucky folks with 3 new tickets, each designed by local artists.
And the Beast appealing to outdoor enthusiasts with a new bike trail called ZOZO BRA's Quick. Semi ride starts and ends versus ZOZO Burns, taking you on a scenic ride.
Oh, they have tickets. I mean, not tickets.
Well, as part of
Sorry,
last year's
tickets.
Centennial celebrations, ZOZO BRA was given a
With
brand new
ZOZO BRA on it.
opportunity to impact people in more areas and throughout the year. We'll listen to some really good music here right now. The ZOZO BRA hot air balloon is the biggest interpretation of the beast. Yeah, it was really cool when we heard about the ZOZO BRA hot air balloon, and it was really cool to be a balloon fiesta. It last year. It's like, there he is.
Yeah,
it looked awesome.
my favorite part.
Yeah, it was really a lot of fun. So he's twice the height though of a traditional balloon, 135 feet tall, weighing 830 pounds. The design is modeled after the 2013 ZOZO BRA, even down to the color of his fingernails. And right now we are joined by Bryce Risley, the program director for ZOZO BRA, the balloon. Thanks for coming in. So where did this idea come from? After all this time, we're going to do a ZOZO BRA balloon.
Yeah, so the iron was hot. It was the 100th anniversary last year, and I chalk it up being born in Albuquerque, raised in Santa Fe. So, you know, ballooning, Albuquerque, my childhood was exposing me to balloons all the time. And my dad took a job in Santa Fe. My family moved up here, and suddenly it was ZOZO BRA in our backyard. And I fell in love with that. After a while, I got involved in the ballooning community after high school, moved back to Albuquerque, hands-on ballooning for a long time, and then eventually I came back from grad school, living in Maine for a while, back to Santa Fe. It's COVID. I got involved with photography, started working with Kiwanis as a volunteer photographer, got back into ballooning in Albuquerque.
Good story, yeah.
And then we started as a community of Kiwanians and volunteers from the community here talking about how we're going to celebrate the 100th anniversary of ZOZO BRA. It's coming up in a couple of years. And we had kind of a group think, everybody in the room, and we're all spitballing ideas. How do we want to do this?
The balloon is massive. Yeah, we're just looking at video of it, and it just towers over everything past balloon trees and stuff. It's difficult to fly.
Very difficult. So it's a unique character. Now we're the visionaries, innovators in the Kiwanis community. We had to have a full body, full figure balloon. But yeah, it is challenging, but it's fun.
Well, it really did. It looked amazing. It stuck out in the crowd for sure. What was some of the reaction? Anything memorable?
There's nothing like it. It's like a dream. Every time I see it, it doesn't feel real. It's just amazing.
Well, congratulations to you. Great idea.
Thank you so much. We're looking forward to sharing it with more people in more communities soon.
We'll see you in a couple months.
You know me at Fiesta, right?
It will. We'll be there for Shake Days this year. Yes, Thursday, Friday.
We'll look for it.
Yeah, Bryce, thanks, Bryce, so much. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back to ZOZO BRA Live.
Another ad. More ads, of course.
Celebrate the 101st birthday of ZOZO. That's the ZOZO. A fun that never goes out. New Mexico residents get it free the first Sunday of the month. Go to nm3pc.org and join us for the tradition of Old Man Blue.
At Albertsons Market, being local isn't just where we are, it's who we are. We're proud to work with trusted partners like Greenland, who pour their passion into every step of their products, from the bottling process down to production.
In the meantime, I'm gonna check the battery percentage on my mom's phone again.
Because we share a story of local pride and deep roots in the communities we serve. Albertsons Market, where freshness and value meet right here at home.
In the wild world of chicken noodles, only the tequila styles are quite the best. Is that the one? No, we've seen that one. Ah, yes. The elusive 5.25% teak plus high yield chicken. That's root beauty. How are you? Plus high yield chicken in the Sandia area. We're goals for your everyday adventures.
When you're hiring a lawyer after a serious injury, you need to know the firm you're hiring cares more about you than their own self-interest. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. And the way to know if a lawyer is putting themselves ahead of you is by looking at the fee agreement.
Some fee agreements allow the lawyer to take more money than their own injured client. Other fee agreements allow the lawyer to raise their fee throughout the process when it's time to fight, putting themselves first.
Do your research. The lawyer you hire does matter.
Keep summer in gear and the Nissan and the summer sale. With the road that offers more standard power than standard Kia Tucson. One tier for the standard V6 unlike Tacoma. And an I-8 that's top 52 plus like Pat Hunter from Toronto. It's no wonder why J.D. Power named Nissan number one in vehicle quality. Hurry in to the Nissan end of summer sale event. Now get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models. Or up to 4,000 customer cash on Frontier.
Hold on, I need to close the door. Oh my God, it's coming.
Oh, it's the small things, I guess. Welcome back to the 101st burning of ZOZO BRA, one of the largest functioning marionettes in the world.
So cool. Once he's on that pole and actually filled with all that gloom, the papers, the items, he weighs more than 3,000 pounds.
So because of that, it takes a lot to move the big man.
Yeah.
Right?
Damn.
We're going to go to Sasha Leninger. She's at the base of the beast, where she is joined by the team that really brings ZOZO BRA to life, Sasha.
Yeah, Todd and Shelley, so this is a rare occurrence. This is the first time a camera has ever been allowed back here to kind of show you the crews that are in charge of moving ZOZO BRA. So Shannon Martinez
Almost
is
time.
animator with ZOZO BRA. Just a family affair. Your dad did
Right
this
there.
for so
Almost
long. He's been handing
time
it to you. Talk
for
about
them to
how
burn
hard
him.
this is.
The setup itself
Yeah.
is an all-day affair. We need 19 hands on deck for the animation crew. I have 8 guys here on the new electronic arm that we have. Normally it's a 6-person on each arm, but we had to add 2 other people on this arm this year.
It's because it weighs a lot more this year.
Oh, yeah, the hand itself is about 100 pounds. The whole arm is 300 pounds. And then my main job is I move his mouth. This is my 16th year moving his mouth. This gal here we have, she's moving the head. She's in charge of the head by herself. And then I'll be moving the mouth right in the center over here. And on the left side here we have F5 guys.
Oh, back here.
Yeah.
How? So, this is a really hard job. ZOZO BRA weighs a lot. If you were to guess, how many calories do you guys think you burn? You told me you guys end in sweat when you're done.
Oh yeah. I had my watch and it pretty much overloaded today. So that's how many steps I got in today. So burnt out, died, and yeah, it was a lot of work movement for sure. Yeah.
A lot of people go to the gym, they work out. This is a different kind of training. How do you guys train for this? How do you train for this?
I just have lots of bigger guys that can hold that weight, and definitely the next day after you feel it from all that holding on to it. As you saw them right now, they're holding on so we get it going. So yeah.
There are different points throughout the show. We can't move Old Man Gloom yet because we don't want to rile the crowd up. But are there certain points during the show where maybe you have to move a little faster, a little slower? How does that all deck out for you guys?
Well, it works out with, the Glooms are his friends, so he starts off very not upset, and he likes his friends, and then once he starts to see that fire, he gets a little riled up, and then now we have the Gloom Queen, so they kind of battle it up, and then he gets mad once he sees those real big fire flames, and is about to go up, so, yeah.
You told me you've been doing this for 30 years. This was your dad's main gig for a long time. He's now retired. It falls in your hands. What do you plan to do a little differently, if anything, than your dad?
Just keep the family legacy going, and as we keep changing things, we're going to keep adding more people to it, and just keep the family legacy going is the main thing.
I can see the one behind us. It's getting a little tough, so I'm going to let you guys go and get back to work. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Shelly and Todd. So they have a lot of work, a lot of muscle back here, and they tell me by the time they're done, they are completely drenched in sweat, but they tell me it is so worth it. Back to you.
Well, it is full steam ahead here as we inch closer to 101st burning of ZOZO BRA.
We've talked to a lot of people out here who they've come up to us and said, this event really means so much to us. We look forward to it every year. And over the year, we've talked to people about what the tradition means to them. Let's take a listen.
It means getting rid of some bad things and spending time with friends and family.
Hatred and fear. Hatred and fear. It's like, boom, there's some hatred. Boom, there's some fear.
A building of tension to a point that it needs to be expressed.
It's also tradition and it's important to Santa Fe.
ZOZO BRA is
Ew.
the embodiment of the boogeyman they would use to scare us when we were naughty kids, but also the tangible action of letting go, of forgiving but not forgetting.
Letting go of the past, and moving forward. Frustration that needs to be expressed in a healthy way.
I think just life as a whole in the world right now can feel kind of heavy sometimes. Getting to come and write them down and watching them go up in flames is kind of fun.
Well, after he burns, all of our beliefs and all of our bad stuff that's happening will go away.
Allowing that peace to happen within your heart as you see the flames uptake the skirt and
the smoke drips into the stars, to be able to put them in your past in that way.
After it burns, one new year has begun.
First burning of ZOZO BRA is sponsored by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union, Albertsons Market, and New Mexico Department of Cultural Affairs.
In the wild world of checking your bills.
I hate ads.
Oh, find the best. Is that the one? No, we've seen that one. Oh, yes. The elusive 5% peak plus cashback checking. A true beauty. Cashback checking with Sandia Air. Rewards for your everyday adventures.
At Albertsons Market, being local isn't just where we are, it's who we are. We're proud to work with trusted partners like Greenland, who pour their passion into every step of their products, from the bottling process down to production and to dairy. Working side by side with local producers is at the heart of what we do, because we share a story of local pride and deep roots in the communities we serve. Albertsons Market, where freshness and value meet, right here at home.
Celebrate the 101st birthday.
Dang, I got 7 people watching my live.
Never goes out. New Mexico residents get it free the first Sunday of the month. Go to nmhistorymuseum.org and join us for the tradition of Old Man Blue. This is Skyride, Santa Fe's adventure train. Climb aboard and travel with the historic rail to Santa Fe and Lane in New Mexico, where entertainers, live music, great food, and drinks will meet you. Whether you're looking to study for the whole class, enjoy craft shopping, or experience one of its famous adventures, we all with Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, you can access your FICO score in a snap.
Well, what I would give to be able to make art on this scale.
It will one day, but it's equally important for you to be thinking about the future, building credit.
Fargo, FICO score.
Wow, it's a work of art.
Do you, Fargo? That was corny, but I'll take it.
You can. Visit wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Looking for a fun way to win some box? We know winner ticket and scratchers from the New Mexico Lottery are now on sale. Listen up and give it a scratch for your chance to win up to $5,000. It's something to crow about. You must be at least 18 to play. Please play responsibly. Play New Mexico Lottery Roadrunner Cash. Tickets are just $1 per play. Plus, jackpot start at $25,000. Catch grow fast. Your favorite story. You must be at least 18 to play.
Should we take a look at? What do you think?
So here,
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebound is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebound.com and save 10% of your complete bathroom remodel.
Welcome to KOAT's ZOZO BRA Live. I'm Shelley Romando.
And I'm Todd Kurtz. Thank you so much for joining us for this very special event, this very special coverage that we have put together for you. We're just so excited to bring you the 101st burning of ZOZO BRA Live right here on KOAT7. If you were with us earlier, we spoke with Jordan Harvier with Mod 2. They just took to the stage.
Perfect timing, Todd. The Pueblo dance group is from the Santa Clara and Milwaukee Pueblos. Their name means family and all our relations. And he really talked a lot about that.
Totally, it's a beautiful message that he had. They are here performing tradition Pueblo dances to promote unity between all cultures as we work to build a positive future together. Take a listen.
All right, and we are listening to Matu. You know, we spoke to them just a little earlier, and this is the perfect way to begin this 9 o'clock hour. Their group signifies family and unity, and that's what this all is about. So ZOZO BRA is a community event. You know, this year's theme is steampunk, as we've been telling you. And you might wonder what that means. A couple of us do at the station. I'll tell you, it's that turn of the century sci-fi theme. Big gears, invention, Victorian feel, as you'll see when you look at ZOZO BRA behind us. It all plays into his outfit tonight.
Yes, there's the shot. There's the man of the hour right there.
By the way, if it stops recording, it's because my mom's phone died because at like 5 or 4.
So long brown jackets, kind of copperish with laser cut gold designs on the sleeves.
That's right, and it's rare to see ZOZO BRA wear a hat. It hasn't happened very often, but this year he has one, and it matches.
Let me go plug in my phone.
They pan up. He's actually got goggles on the hat. It's so cool.
Red bow tie, taking a closer look toward his chest. You can see buttons, and check these out, cut in the shape of gears. There you got it, fitting the theme there.
It's so, and Todd, you know, my favorite part is I'm staring at him right now. I do love that bow tie. It just looks so crisp and elegant. His pocket watch.
Yes.
It's actually a working clock this year. The gears, they turn to tell us the correct time, even as we get closer to burning away our gloom.
You know, the hands are also really all the talk tonight. You can see he is wearing a glove for the first time ever. One of his hands is robotic. The fingers were actually moved tonight, adding even more life to this monster. We already saw them flicker for a second tonight.
Well, you know, he thinks maybe being able to move those fingers will give him the upper hand over the fire spirit. That's what everyone's saying. We'll have to see. Will he burn? Well, as he works to complete his mission of turning the city to darkness and spreading despair.
That's the name of his game. So in Spanish, ZOZO BRA translates to anxiety or anguish.
And you know, this 50-foot tall puppet, 50 feet 6 inches actually, is stuffed with all the glooms, all the anxiety, more than 3,000 pounds of it inside of it.
So most glooms are written on paper.
All right, I'm back.
There is a cancer diagnosis, wedding dresses inside as well. People add anything that's caused pain, it'll soon be burning to ash. People add anything that's going to be causing pain, and it'll soon burn to ash. And those glooms are not just from people in Santa Fe, people from all over the world to run here in just a few minutes.
All right, you know, ZOZO BRA's creator wanted the tradition to live on forever, and they're keeping the legacy alive with the Kiwanis president who was speaking. We learned on stage now.
Let's take a listen.
All of you, so thank you so much. You have gloom, we're gonna burn it. Okay? Can I ask, where are your problems now? Thank you very much. Thank you, President Harris. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to introduce you our Kiwanis International President, Lee Kwang Young. He is the International President. Hey! Hello, Santa Fe! How are you? Buenas noches, good evening. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? I'm so happy to be here. Hello. Okay. I'm so happy to be here, all the way from Malaysia. My wife and I come from Malaysia because Kiwanis is 110 years old today, and Kiwanis is in 85 countries around the world. That's why you got Kiwanis all around the world. And I'm so happy because this event, great event, 101st burning of ZOZO BRA is organized by a Kiwanis club of Santa Fe. Give them a big hand. Wow. Wow. In Malaysia, we say wow this way. We say wow. Wow. Thank you for your attendance because you collected money for so many charities that serve children. Give yourself a big hand. Good evening. Welcome to this. Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Santa Fe, the Honorable Ellen Weber. Baby to Santa Fe! Baby to Santa Fe!
Why do they have to scream though?
That's what we're here for. We're gonna burn it. But before we do that, we're gonna hear the national anthem. But first, I want to say a few thank yous. Thank you to all of you for being here tonight. Thank you to Kiwanis. Without whom none of this happens. Volunteers work thousands of hours to make this happen. And Ray Sandoval and his team deserve a big round of applause. The Kiwanis team is the best. We need them, we love them, and they make it all happen. Raymond, I don't know where you are, but thank you for all you do. And to our first responders, our firefighters, our police officers, our emergency people, they're here to take care of all of us. They're here to take care and make sure everybody gets home safe after we burn him. All right. So let me just introduce our singer of the national anthem. It's my honor to introduce Toni Morgan. Toni Morgan is a Rio Rancho, New Mexican. She has been a background singer for Gladys Knight and the Pips. She is a soulful singer. She is a gospel singer. And tonight, she is going to bring us the national anthem.
It's almost time. It's almost time until they burn it. 9:18. They're gonna burn him soon. Yay.
Can you see by the dawn early light what so
She seems okay.
proudly we held at the twilight last evening, whose broad stripes and the bright star through the perilous fight. Oh, the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket
Oh, it's almost time. You guys see him move. Hold on, what battery percentage is this for? It's at 2%.
Land of the free and the home of the brave.
In 3 more minutes, they're gonna burn him.
Just such a beautiful voice. You could just tell it just really gets everyone in the mood. It's calming yet exciting. Beautiful.
She had some impressive credentials there, and that just showed.
amazing.
That opera voice, that was fantastic.
She sounded really good. All right, now it is time to start the show. The excitement's just beginning. We can hear people starting to say, burn him. You know, that's what they're doing up front. It's like they chant, burn him, burn him.
Mayor Weber got everyone going.
Yes.
So we're going to be guiding you through the story of ZOZO BRA.
The recording might stop in a few minutes.
That's right. And right now, ZOZO BRA is here in Santa Fe.
Because the battery percentage is literally at 1%.
And stop his hate and mischief.
So he's dressed for the party, but not falling for their trap. He has a sinister plan.
Hold on for just a second.
His eyes are lighting up right now. He'll use his powers of gloom and sadness to punch Santa Fe. ZOZO BRA has a little help. You can see the Gloom Queen. ZOZO BRA's fueling her with this negative energy.
This is a rare appearance for this character. It only happens when a future fire dancer is in training. Tom Kobe Martinez is here tonight, working toward that role, which she will take in 2027.
She's dancing to synthesizers, providing eerie notes of impending doom. The soundtrack bringing the steam.
Hold on, I'll be right back.